suffocates, whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood. Blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway like shadows on the wall. One wrong word and the mighty fall. Who's a sinner? Who's a saint? The jury's out, but the verdict's faint. Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight.
All right, lovelies. Let's get a wave from backstage. Make sure that my audio is working before I get started. Fantastic. Okay, it is another, and yes, we do have JJ from State of the Deep. He just popped backstage. We were all asking whether he was going to make it tonight, and I'm like, I think so. But anyways, we weren't sure. So things are getting things are getting weird in the Idaho 4 case. I'm a little rattled. I had a weird day today. We may or may not talk about that. It's funny because I was talking to my panel backstage, and I didn't ask them whether it's something we should talk about or not. Like, part of me doesn't want to talk about it. Part of me does want to talk about it. I guess when we get the guys on stage, they know what I'm talking about. It was a unnerving day in some regards. We can maybe talk about that. But the whole Idaho 4 thing, it seems like it's getting crazier by the day as we start to learn new details. In the last 2 days, right? I've been hearing there's a confidential informant in the house, Eric Gower, maybe a police officer, crazy shit's coming out. And it's like, it's just like, oh my God. Like, now all of a sudden, a lot of those whys are starting to make sense. Maybe. I don't want to be a crazy conspiracy theory story, right? So I feel bad because I feel like I want to make sure that we have receipts, but we do have receipts. We literally heard these people say, one of the victims is a confidential informant. A CI is what they actually said. But so it's not like we're just speculating. Like, we were speculating before, but it's not a speculation when they say it. It's not a speculation when someone says they're a cop and they're working with, whatever. It's, oh God. Anyways, let's bring the panel up on stage so we can talk about it as a group. Last night was crazy. As you know, we had a big after show where we showed some photos, but we did that on Discord, not on the YouTube. We still got a content moderation flag on YouTube saying that maybe what we were talking about was inappropriate. So, which is funny because we didn't show a single photo, not one, last night on the public stream, but they still flagged me for inappropriate content discussion. I have a feeling that's coming from certain people that are watching the show and are getting upset with what we talk about. So anyways, let's bring up Dago. Dago, how you doing? Again, this is just those in the order that they came in.
I'd say forget about it, but I don't think we can. Jesus.
I don't think we can forget about it.
No.
I'm a little nervous, brother, man. I
would talk about it if I were you, bro. I mean, I would let the whole world know what happened because that way it's out there. It's imprinted in the world. I would.
I think we will. I'm getting some thumbs up from others backstage as well, so we'll probably do that. Let me get the rest of them up, and then I'll explain the weird experience I had today. There's no names. We're just gonna explain the weird experience that I had today, and I'll explain it in detail. And it's just food for thought. So, anything special on your mind, by the way, before I bring up other panelists, since it's just you and I at the moment?
Well, anything. Well, I mean, there's a whole lot to talk about. I'll say that much. A whole lot to talk about. That being said, I mean, that's pretty much everything that's on my mind right now. And again, I'm grateful to be here with you guys again tonight. As always, this is the highlight of my day, as always. So let's do this.
It's funny that you say this before I bring Robin up. American Beauty. This is the highlight of my day, was a line from Kevin Spacey. Do you remember that scene?
Yes,
I'm not going to explain it, but every time I hear someone say, this is the highlight of my day, I got the Kevin Spacey scene in American Beauty in my head.
It's not the same circumstance, but it is the highlight of my day.
Robin, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you. I'm glad. Yeah, you did have a weird day.
I did have a weird day. To be frank with you, I'm a little rattled, and maybe it's just because I'm paranoid. When you're in the true crime space, you get a little paranoid about things, and maybe it's just all completely explainable and understandable. We'll talk about it as a group and get your opinions on it and stuff like that as well. But anything special in your world before we bring up 1-1 next, and then JJ?
No, I'm just glad to be out of the freaking weather. It's going to be 4 degrees here tomorrow. And then we're supposed to have like blizzard conditions over the weekend. And I'm like, I'm over it. Where is spring? And that freaking groundhog better not see it.
He ain't going to be able to. It's froze solid. It's 0 degrees.
He's not going to pop his head up. It's frozen.
Yeah, it's 0 degrees. And the real feel is -17, you guys. That's crazy.
Oh.
People in the chat are asking if you're a Steelers fan, you're wearing Steelers gear. So
I am. Well, Robin has bad hair from being in the weather. We went to the store. Make sure we have toilet paper.
Are you bailing from the
like
Steelers
that.
fan comment?
Oh yeah, love Steelers. Yep.
Oh my God, I didn't even. I have to leave, you guys. I have to leave.
Oh, what's this? What is? Oh, is that like Cleveland?
Yes, I have to leave. Robin, I love you, but I can't do it. Oh my God.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we can't be friends.
I guess we just lost a panelist. Shit, we just lost a panelist over football.
And you got the hat and the shirt. What the hell? I'm done.
That's right, man.
All right, well,
you're right.
All right, it's good to see you, Robin. Let's bring up 1-1, and I'm going to pull some stuff off of. I'm going to get some stuff off of his face. There you go. I got some stuff off your face. What are you doing? How are you doing tonight?
Hello, denizens, meatballs. JJ backstage. There you go. Robin, boss man. Of course, the night that I am not around, Bombshell comes out.
Oh my God! Yeah,
but I did watch the recap of your show, and I couldn't believe it. I believe it, but I couldn't believe it. I'm like,
you watched that body cam footage where he says, "By the way,"
I think I watched it like 30 times.
I just about shit myself. I was like, that's what we've been saying for a long time was possible.
Right. I had to play it today in my channel probably 17 times because people are like, I didn't hear. Is
there any doubt in your mind that that's what he says now? Or
he says it.
Molly went in and she recorded it and cleaned it up, so there's no background noise, and it's absolutely clearly 100% exactly what.
Even the end of it, even the end of it was even more clear, where he says CI. I mean, that part was super clear.
And after we get JJ on, I want to talk about that a little bit, because I want to talk about why that is such a big deal. Like, for those who don't understand why we're losing our shit, for me, it explains the why. Why would they cover this up? And that's exactly why. And I've hinted at it for a long time. If there was someone in the house that was a CI, this would be why they would clean it up. And now we hear them say one of the victims was a CI, and that just pretty much fucking confirmed it right there. I was like, again, it doesn't confirm it in the sense that you can't prove, but all the reasons why I said if there was a CI, this is a problem.
It's a big problem. Big problem.
And now we hear that there was a CI in there. All right, so let's bring JJ up. State of the Deep, how you doing? Yes, it's drinking night. I got a little bit of a
Yeah.
Oh,
Happy
nice. Everybody's got a little
Friday,
bit of-
everybody.
little bit of
Salud.
toast. Very
Friday.
nice.
Yeah.
Drinks
DA,
around.
Robin, 1-1, Dago, Denizens, Meatballs, and Mods. Cheers
Yeah.
to you.
It's a
Cheers to
Bugazi.
Bugazzi. Yeah, that's amazing. So yeah, I was sad that you weren't there 1-1 for the drop. You were there
That's
though, right,
okay.
Joe, for the CI discussion?
Yeah, I was, man. I'm glad I caught that, man, because I think I can speak for everybody. I was a little bit flabbergasted. Shocked would not be the word, because
Yeah.
I wasn't at all shocked. But
No, it's not shocking. It's just wow. You
it's
know.
like bingo. It's more like
Mhm.
bingo.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
it's shocking and it's not shocking. It's not shocking because we kind of suspected that would have to be the case, but it's shocking with that we actually got to prove it. Like, because we never thought we'd be able to prove it, and now you're like, well, there it is, right? Like they just literally fucking said it.
And that's
And
what I said on
also-
my show today. I said, we've been asking like a motive. Why did this happen to these poor kids? I said, well, and then I played it and I said, bingo. You know what I mean?
There
Like
we
Joe
are.
said, bingo.
I think
Yep.
the reason why last night was probably the most significant stream that I've been on of all is because it's like the aha moment that ties so many different things together and clarifies
Yeah.
things,
Right.
which
Yeah.
is what we've been
Yeah.
trying to do, right? For all this time, try to make sense of it all.
Yeah. Right. And for those who before I get into it, 1-1, do we
Yeah.
want to do
Yeah.
a monologue tonight?
Sure.
Okay, let's do that. Before
I'll
we
do
get
it.
too into it.
Jackson, Juliana, my wife, love you guys. Have a good night. Is it good to be alive in the den on a Friday night? This is not a true crime show for people who want to be reassured. This is not a show for people who need things to make sense. And this is definitely not a show for people who believe the first story they're told. This is Devil's Advocates, where the lights are low, the questions are uncomfortable, and the truth doesn't come with instructions. Every crime has a moment before it becomes a headline, a moment before the tape goes up, before the cameras arrive, before someone decides what the story is going to be. That moment matters because that's where the truth usually gets buried. We're told the system works. We're told mistakes are rare. We're told to trust the process, trust the experts, trust the narrative. But history tells a different story. History tells us that evidence gets missed. Pressure creates shortcuts. And once a conclusion is chosen, everything else is made to fit. We don't play that game. Here, we rewind the tape. We re-examine the timelines. We follow the evidence where it actually leads, even when it leads somewhere inconvenient. Even when it points away from the official version. Because justice doesn't care about optics, and truth doesn't care about reputations. In this space, nothing is immune from scrutiny, investigators, witnesses, experts, suspects, even the conclusions everyone else already accepted, especially those. We ask the questions that get you labeled difficult. We say the things you're not supposed to say out loud, not to defend the guilty, but to make damn sure the right person is being blamed. Because once the story hardens, once the public decides, once the machine starts moving, stopping it becomes almost impossible. So we slow it down, we pull at the loose threads, we sit with the doubt, and we let the devil do what the devil does best, challenge the truth. If you're looking for easy answers, this isn't your show. If you want certainty, you won't find it here. But if you're willing to question everything you think you know, you're in the right place. This is Devil's Advocates. No comfort, no closure, just the pursuit of what everyone else stopped looking for. And with that, live from New York, it's Friday night.
Thank you very much for
Great
that.
job, buddy. Great job.
Thank you for the intro, and thank you, panelists, for joining me on yet another. Yeah, pulling the threads. And look, let me tell you a little bit about how my day was today. So, I had decided I got a brand new drone. You know that I got a drone pilot's license, and I wanted to go up and do some aerial footage over the property. And because I didn't want to step onto the property because there's no trespassing signs on the property itself, the lot where the house used to be, 1122 King Road residence, but it does have like a chain over the driveway, right? So it's kind of implied that you shouldn't go on there, but there's no trespassing no trespassing signs. But even so, I was like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my new drone pilot. I'll just drop a drone over the fence into the property and kind of get a view of the property, whatever. And I thought I could do that. Turns out, number one, when you have a drone pilot's license, you've got to check with the FAA, and that's protected airspace. Believe it or not, right over top of 1122 King Road residence is protected FAA airspace because they have a helipad and an airport nearby, and it's protected airspace during daylight hours. So if you want to film during the day, you've got to get approval from the FAA to fly there. Believe it or not, I actually got approval from the FAA to fly there. And so I had a window in which I was allowed to fly my drone in the area. As a safety precaution, as I was trained by my pilot's license, I need to double check for power lines, trees, obstructions, height off the ground, above ground level, to make sure I don't go too high and get into involved with potential air traffic and all of that. So I decided to get out of my car with my wife in the car. We were parked behind the 1122 King Road residence. And we walked, I walked, sorry, my wife stayed in the car. I walked and I had, by the way, my chest camera on that I've filmed with Joe and I when we were out there. And I didn't get very far walking towards the property when a car flew in a car flew into the property and stopped right next to me and then started to back up at the same speed as me and kind of backed up beside me, following me, shadowing me for a little bit as I was walking parallel to the property. Then they pulled into a parking spot right there. And I thought, oh, well, that's a no, never mind. It's just a parking spot. So maybe I'm just paranoid. This is part of the business, right? If you're in the true crime business, you start to get paranoid. So I'm jumping in shadows, right? I walk across the front of the parking lot, heading towards 1119, I think it was, King Road, and kind of that area on King Road where Jack DeCour's house or whatever. And a large pickup truck flies in, and the driver goes to the intersection and starts rubbernecking me. He's just constantly staring at me and driving really slow towards kind of like that DeCour area residence house. And I continued to walk towards him. And him and his buddy jumped out of the truck and started to harass me. Said, "What are you doing? Why are you here? What's with the camera on your chest? That's really weird. Why do you have a camera?" And I tried to play it off and said, "Look, man, I used to live here." "Oh yeah, well, there's a lot of people who live here." I'm like, "Yeah, I know there's a lot of people who live here." And so he just kept asking me, "Well, what the hell are you doing?" "Well, it's really weird that you've got a chest camera." And I'm thinking, what's really weird to me is why the fuck you think it's your personal mission to come up and challenge me? Like, he flew in and immediately all puffs up and starts, "What the fuck are you doing here?" kind of attitude. So to be polite, because I don't want to start shit and I don't want to cause drama, I turned immediately around and started walking back to my car. And he says, "I'm calling the police." And so he called the police on me. He followed me. Him and his buddy followed me down the street. And I heard them behind me following and calling the police. Told me that I should think twice before walking around a random neighborhood. And I said, "It's not a random neighborhood. This is not a random neighborhood." When I told him that I used to live here, he said, "Oh yeah?" And I said, "Yeah, in Pullman." He goes, "This isn't Pullman." I'm like, I fucking know it's not Pullman. The whole thing was the whole thing was just an intimidation bullshit. And I want to know why this guy has such a hard on that. Like, it's not, in my opinion, it's not normal behavior for people to act that way. Most people don't give a shit if somebody's walking in the neighborhood. For him to fly in and then puff up and challenge me and go, "What the fuck are you doing? Why you got this camera? Maybe you shouldn't walk around a neighborhood you don't belong in." I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, nobody does that. Nobody does that. So I left the property with my wife, and Moscow Police Department pulled up on me and flipped a Yui behind me and followed me around town. So I could see in my rearview mirror, Moscow Police Department on their speaker calling in my plates. They followed me for quite a while, took several turns exactly behind me, staying on my bumper. And then when I took the road to head to Washington State to leave Idaho, Moscow Police Department broke off with me. So on the positive side, to play devil's advocates, right? Do I think MPD was harassing me? No. Somebody called in, you could play it out the way it happened. A citizen called in a concern. This guy's acting suspicious and he's walking around with a camera. So MPD responded to it. They ran my plates, didn't find anything, and then broke off the following me. So it's no big deal, but it was a little unnerving. It's a weird way to start the day when you have somebody challenging you in your face, asking what the fuck you're doing there, telling you should, stay out of their neighborhood, and then the cops are following you and flipping a Yui and following your car on your tail to see if you do anything wrong. And I told my wife, said, we're getting pulled over here in a minute, so make sure you got a recording going because we're going to get pulled over. Well, we didn't get pulled over, thank God. They broke off, but it was unsettling. It was unsettling. What do you think, guys? I mean, it's unsettling.
I'm going to say real quick, if you're watching, whoever that was, shame on you. Like, grow up, okay? Because and why?
Yeah.
What are you so worried about, boss? It's crazy.
It didn't seem normal. It didn't seem normal to act that way. I mean, the guy was pretty young. I want to say he's early 20s. So then I started doing the math. Okay, well, this is a case that's three plus years old. So could he have been around at the time? I don't know. Like, maybe he looks like he's barely old enough to just be in college now. So is he but like, is it just some random citizen who decided that
a sibling to somebody that was around?
Right. The whole thing I'm thinking to myself is, well, I'm super interested in you now. Cause that was not normal. So now the fact that you're so concerned makes me think I need to be knowing who you are. I want to know who that guy is now.
Bingo.
That guy being up in my ass means that he's obviously bothered by something, and I want to know why he's bothered by it.
I guess we need to figure out who that is then.
Yeah.
Yep. My theory, and I know this will sound very suspicious, I can't help it. I think when you call the FFA, or the FFA, whatever, and I think somebody in that area tipped somebody off that there's going to be a guy flying a drone. And I'm sorry. I just think that knowing how that area is, that is very bizarre that somebody was on you.
They were there too fastly to not. It's like they expected you to be there.
Yeah. It did feel like both the car and the truck that pulled in very quickly after I got out of the car, as if it was like somebody's watching the property. And once they saw that I got out of the car, everybody flooded the scene to come in and bark at me and intimidate me to leave. So, and again, I don't understand the need for that. I don't understand the need for that at all. Like, what are you so fucking afraid of? Like, I'm an old dude walking your neighborhood. Why the fuck is that a major concern to you? And,
what could you possibly do there that's going to cause a problem? That's the other side of it. What could you possibly do that's causing a problem?
No more house.
And I was purposely trying not to make a stink, right? That's why when he confronted me, I just decided to leave. I'm like, I'm not going to make a big deal. I'm not going to get in his face and say, I have every right to be here. Like, I just politely left. I got in my car and I left. But he literally followed me, and it was.
They've done it to everybody, Lee. They've done it to you. They've done it to Lana. They even did it to Pubes. They did it to him. They did it to Rory. Everybody that I know of that's gone there has had the same interaction as some form or fashion like that.
I really don't understand it. By the way, I did. It's funny because when Joe and I went, and even when my wife and I went, they must have been on break because the campus was way busier when we went today than it was when any of us went.
It could be the weather.
It could be, yeah. But there was a lot of students around, and I waited for what looked like students were leaving their apartments heading to class, and so I kind of waited for that whole like transition of, okay, well, they're heading to class, so I'll wait a little bit for everybody to kind of get into their classes, and then I'll do it during that hour while everybody's in class. But again, people were just fucking all over me like fucking stink on shit. Like, it was just the weirdest experience, and it was kind of unnerving. So I didn't fly the neighborhood because I just figured, fuck it. Because here's the thing. I mean, think about this. This is one of the things I have to start to think about. If I had the drone in the air and that guy had challenged me and told me to get the fuck off the property, I have a responsibility to be looking at my drone, not that guy. And I need to safely land that drone. And I can't be worried about some guy in my fucking face telling me to, and engaging me. Like, I have to pay attention to my drone. So then I got to stick my wife to be the one to interact with said asshole so I can land my drone safely. So that I'm putting my wife's life in danger or possibly, if like, the whole thing is a shit show. So I'm just like, well, I'm not going to do this right now because I don't want to have this guy come up and challenge us and be like insisting that we leave in the middle while the fucking drone's in the air, which I'm legally allowed to fly. I had FAA approval to fly it. So the whole thing just became like, you know what, fuck it. We'll call it. And it sucks. It took me fucking hours to get there. And I just fucking had to leave with nothing because I just didn't want to deal with it if the guy fucking came up and charged us when the fucking drone's in the air kind of thing, even though it was totally legal to fly.
Too bad I wasn't with you because the way I go out in public is a whole different direction. So yeah, that would have been a big change of scenery there, guys. I'll just put it there for that. I'm not going to say anymore. He'd have never bothered you again, that's for sure.
One of the things, DA, that comes to mind is you got to pass Sigma Chi to get into that area.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's been a lot of heat on Sigma Chi, and that's a lot of people, right, that are part of the fraternities. So not just Sigma Chi, but the fraternities in general, but specifically Sigma Chi is right there when you turn onto King Road. So you never know if they could have saw you pull in there, and some people from Sigma Chi saw it, and then somebody was like, who's that? I don't recognize that guy. He's going up towards that way. And then, they maybe since all this happened, because of the heat that's been on Sigma Chi, they might really be on edge. Like you and I never got out of the car when we were there in that area. And I always had a gut feeling like that people would be on edge in that area. And that's why I didn't really want to draw too much attention.
This is what I fundamentally don't understand. It's been 3 years and someone's pled guilty. So what the fuck are they worried about? This case is over. It's been 3 years and a guy pled guilty. So why are they charging me and barking at me to get the fuck out of here?
I could see that.
Like, isn't it over? The guy pled guilty. Isn't it over?
I think they know, Lee, that this is still all going on, and that they're I guarantee you a lot of them watch our channels, not just yours, not just mine.
Oh yeah,
but many of ours, and we're there's a couple handfuls of us that are all in the same parade line going forward in the same direction, and I know they watch this. Okay, so that in turn, for all we know, it could have been somebody that was watching your channel, my channel, and said, hey, I know that guy, blah 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 blah, and this and that. But I think they're all kind of unnerved. I can't give you a good reason why, but I have an idea as to why. I'll just put it that way.
I could see Lee has a POI now. They're gonna do a roll call with that POI is a person of interest.
He was a person of interest when he pulled into the MPD parking lot.
Yeah,
I know. Now it's a reoccurring. They're gonna be like,
right?
What does this guy want here, man?
The only difference is that you contacted the FAA. You've been there twice now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No problem.
We didn't have that experience. We didn't have that experience
and everything else, and that's the only difference.
And the weird part, Robin, with what you're saying, they didn't contact the local police department. They obviously contacted somebody different.
Yeah.
That's the weird part. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's just like I said, I mean, to be fair, and I want to talk about more, but to be fair, I'm not trying to make enemies, right? So I want to be fair.
Too late.
I really don't. I don't want to give the impression that Moscow Police Department was harassing me. They weren't. Like,
no, not at all.
I have to give them the benefit of the doubt. They were called by a citizen. They responded to it. They ran my plates, didn't find anything, and broke it off. That's the end of the story. So everything they did was fine. Everything that they did, in my opinion, was fine. If they had pulled me over and harassed me, that'd be a different story. But they didn't. They didn't even pull me over. So, kudos to MPD for not harassing me. And I think that whole call was this guy and what was his issue? I don't know. But clearly, I felt that if I had spoke to him incorrectly, it was going to become a fight. And so I just politely left. He's like, basically get the fuck out of here. And so I left. But if I had given him shit, would that have become a physical confrontation? I don't know.
Could have, but I'll tell you one thing. I'd be real curious to see how the reaction would be if a group of us showed up there.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to see how that went.
Oh, you can't. Then they'll get the campus SWAT team.
Yeah, right.
And we might disappear like Kopaka and
see the little weed wobble walking up on us. That'd be interesting.
So now I want to talk about something else in the Idaho thing. So every once in a while, and I won't say who they are, but every once in a while, some people in my Discord channel, and probably the same for you, Dago, are members of the Gonzalez family Facebook page. So they get updates from the Gonzalez's to their family page. And so now the Gonzalez who have been going on, and by the way, I realize a lot of people keep pronouncing it Goncalves with a hard C. Gonzalez. We're constantly like, and I don't even want to go there. Like one video I said Goncalves with a hard C, and I got crucified by people like, this idiot doesn't even know how to pronounce their last name. And I'm like, fuck it, I'm not even going to argue with you guys. Like, anyways, the point being is that I'm going to pronounce it Gonçalves, and I know that in Portuguese is probably a hard C, it's Goncalves, but whatever the case may be, I digressed too far. The point being is that the Gonçalveses now, believe it or not, are one, they love, oh, for fuck's sake, Viviana as a great TikToker. And now literally they're saying we've decided that the family might start going on social media and talking to TikTokers. And I know that Viviana is going to be their fucking first choice, but they're literally saying that we're going to start going on social media. So what the hell with this? Like, really? Now the family's going to come out and take somebody like fucking Viviana,
or they'll go over it
other than shitting on other people, and then talk about, oh, she's a great TikToker, we're going to go on her show and give her, like, it's a joke at this point. This is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget they also have the Drunk Turkey show as well. So
oh god,
yeah,
that's the other one that would be you.
And then and they keep pushing this dark side of true crime.
Right, there's shaming
that
wants to get to the truth,
and that's It's I only saw a few of her stuff. She's some kind of defense lawyer or something. Which is really weird because you would think being a defense lawyer, like,
are you?
You would think she'd have, yeah.
There's a lot of people on the payroll. For sure.
Right, Joe. Right.
Yeah. Right.
And
you know what's funny, Jen? This is a great comment.
It is.
When I saw the Gonçalveses were saying we might go on social media, I was thinking, great, come on my show. Because I'll be honest with you, I will be nice to them.
Yes.
I will be polite to them. I literally want to ask them questions politely, not like an asshole. I will be polite to that family. I have sympathy for them losing their daughter. I really do. So I would be polite to them. Now, will they ever come talk to me? No, because they list me as one of the shows that they think are full of shit because we question the official narrative. But I would love to be able to ask some questions and say, look, and here's how I would approach it and I know I'm not going to, but here's how I'd approach it. I would say, look, a lot of people would love to put this to bed. Tell us what you know that would finally put this to bed for us, that we know. So, if you guys know something that you're holding back, say something, because we've got questions and we want to put it to bed. We want to be in your camp. So convince us that we all have it wrong because we haven't seen it yet.
And I would do the same thing on my channel, and I would not allow anybody to be disrespectful. I would be nothing but absolutely respectful, 100%, but it'll never happen, like you said, because we're not on the right side of the fence, period.
Right.
Well, I mean, it makes sense to me that logically that the Gonçalves family would be pushing back on alternative narratives because if hypothetically their daughter was a confidential informant, then theoretically her being there could be connected to the collateral damage that took place. So they would have most likely known that she was a CI, and therefore there's probably a lot of guilt. Again, hypothetically, it might be a lot of guilt to know that your child was involved in something that could have led to other people ending up as collateral damage.
And the sad thing is, Joe, that's a good point. It's not her fault. It's not her fault at all. If anybody they should be angry with, if that were to be the truth, it's Moscow Police Department and Latah County. As that's who they should have been mad at, and should be mad at the entire time because of the entire situation, in my opinion. So, very good point, Joe.
Well, the question that I was thinking about a lot, because I was up late last night scouring the photos. I don't know. I couldn't get to sleep after we got off that
No,
Discord.
me either.
So I was like just going through and analyzing stuff for a couple of hours after that. And I just can't get past the idea of, if there was a CI, what agency was it through? I talked to a friend today who was a state trooper, and he was a federal corrections officer, and I talked about it with him. I said, what do you think is most likely? And he said, well, it could have been the DEA. It could have been the feds, in some capacity. Because I explained to him, he doesn't know the background. He knows the basics of the case. I explained to him a lot of the background and documents that have come out and things like that. And he said, well, if there was a multi-agency task force in the area, it could be any agency that there was a CI for.
There was two agencies in town before this happened, Joe. That's another good point. FBI and DEA were both there on the ground, and if they grabbed a hold of one of these kids and said, hey, why don't you help us out here, do this, and that would make perfect sense. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And let me real quick. I love to highlight, like Robin did, highlight the people who are brand new to the channel. So here's somebody who's brand new to the channel, just discovered your channel, never considered the slangs to have more than one person. Do you feel it could have been drug related? Yes, because especially right now, we've theorized for a while if. And look, I'll try to summarize a long, complex thing. There's a document that exists that's public record. It's out in the public. You can read it. We've done it on our show. The University of Idaho and Pullman Police Department had an agreement to embed police officers in the fraternity life, in the sororities and the fraternities, to look for things like drugs in the fraternities and sororities and Greek life. So we now know that was an ongoing thing. And we also have a video recently that we just watched where an officer said one of the victims was a CI. They were working with the police department. So if they were ratting on drugs moving through Greek life, that's the kind of thing that would get people killed. As soon as somebody who's losing potentially tons of money in the drug trade because somebody's working with the cops, they're going to kill somebody that's snitching to the cops. So did that house get hit and everybody in it paid maybe collateral damage? Or it very much could be drug related. Absolutely.
And I've seen a couple people, DA, over the past couple of days in my channel that have said that they think, because we were talking about targets yesterday, okay, based on we were going through the crime scene photos again. Two people in my chat yesterday said that they believe that all of them could have been the target. And I stopped and thought for a minute. 3 of the girls and 3 of the 4 victims had just recently left and separated from their sororities. Very conveniently.
Yeah.
Now finding this out, it made me wonder, did they leave the sororities because they realized there's an issue going on here, and being that they're all housemates to live together, did they say, hey, we need to get the hell away from this? And this could be partially what's going on. You know what I mean?
And I don't like to be too speculative. You know that I'm afraid of being lumped into a conspiracy channel. But I want to say this: somebody that I talk to outside of the channel on a regular basis in a private communication said to me, DA, what if every fraternity and sorority, once they found out about the agreement of embedding police officers, were going, who's the fucking snitch in our sorority? Who's the fucking snitch in our fraternity? And could that explain Hudson Lindau being killed? Could it be Hannah McCleary being killed? Could it be like, were people finding out who's the fucking snitch in our house? And did that lead to, and again, 100% speculation. But I was like, wow, that's a really interesting question. It's a really interesting question because, again, there's some other murders or other deaths that are unexplained and sealed, and they don't want to talk about those either. So is it possible Greek life was getting word that there were snitches in Greek life and spying on the fucking drug moving through, and people were getting rubbed out when they found out who the snitches were? And the last thought I want to do that before I take myself off camera and let you guys talk for a minute, because I want to step away and grab something, is what if, for example, just a hypothetical, I want to get your opinion as the panel to talk. What if Ethan, for example, was a CI for his frat? And what if Kaylee was a CI for her sorority? And what if Maddie was collateral damage because they were going after Kaylee? And what if Xana was collateral damage because they were going after Ethan? And maybe that explained why 4 people died. So, those are some questions that have you guys banter. I'll be.
And I wanted to devil's advocate on you, Dago, something that you said about all the girls leaving the sorority around the, saying that they're CI. The problem with that, though, is that would create a red flag. They're basically highlighting themselves that. Well,
you're right. You're absolutely right.
So,
but they also did give different reasons for leaving.
They did.
The problem right there is that they said,
but if they were, I'm just saying, like, if they were heavy embedded in some kind of investigation going on, whatever FBI or whatever group, they would try to convince them to just stay with it until they're done. So
unless there were threats that were being made within sororities already, and that's why they stepped away, because it was getting dangerous, maybe. You know what I mean? But you're right. You're absolutely right.
Well,
I was going to say that I did. Sorry, Joe. I'll be
no, it's all right. Go ahead, man.
What I was going to say, though, is with what DA said last week. You guys, you were there when I did a show about multiple other people whose lives have been lost around this. And I didn't even cover them all. Okay. Yeah. It kind of like lit that in my brain again. Like, again, one more time. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's cool. What I've been saying all along is, about the school having a lot of sway over this investigation, right? And we know that's the case. And now we know for sure that's the case. I mean, it makes perfect sense that something crazy like that happens, and somebody that was working in conjunction with a codified program that the school had in place to have people embedded in the system was the cause of a multiple homicide within the school. That school, that is the last thing that school would ever want to get out. And so they would be on top of MPD not wanting that to get out, but because the school codified that into the local, an actual program, that you really think, imagine this, parents around the country who are thinking of sending their kids to U of I find out that the school had a program in conjunction with law enforcement to use students as informants, and it got 4 students killed.
Right.
That would be only would parents never send their kids to that. The bad press that they would get, the blowback would be astronomical.
Right.
And lawsuits. There would be lawsuits.
It would be insane.
That's what I'm saying.
And then add to that.
Yes, you're sorry, Dago. You're hitting it exactly. This is the why. Why? Because if you want to ask the question, if law enforcement is fucking the timeline and moving the timeline, why would they do that? Why? They're not just doing that just to do it. There'd be a reason. It would be to protect millions of dollars and an embarrassment. 2 points I want to bring out about that. Someone pointed out, just hearing that drugs are such a problem on your campus that you have to embed officers with Greek life to look for drugs. Some parents would be like, I don't want to send my kid to a school where it's so bad, the drug problem is so bad, they have to embed officers, whatever. And then second of all, if turning students into snitches for the cops gets 4 people murdered, they'll be like, that was you just got my kid killed. Like, there would be people who would be furious. Like, you got my kid killed by turning him into an informant and fucking putting their life. Like, who wants to send their kid to that kind of environment? It would destroy the school.
And
Right.
that also
So-
could bring in, that could also bring into effect the reason why or where Brian Koberger came into the picture, because they're in turn, not only do we have this happening, we can't allow it to be somebody from here that's one of us. It has to be the outsider. So they're in turn, that brings Brian back into the picture at that point. So yeah, that's another good
Right.
point.
And I mean,
Yeah.
look, I'm gonna keep. Oh, go ahead, Rob. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, what if there was still another part of the operation going on? So yeah, they're going to want to lock everything down to protect as much as they could, whatever else they were still trying to accomplish, even though this happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good point.
And you know, I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm not gonna. I have to always speak my mind based on my gut, and I think that I will continue to say this. I still believe that Koberger was working in conjunction with this program in some way, shape, or form. Because if you wanted to be a federal law enforcement agent in some capacity, and there were research programs going on in your university, and that was your field, you would be in contact with people from law, from federal law enforcement on some level, even if it was through the school. And so what you call somebody up to the big leagues, you want to get involved, this is what you got to do. And they bring him in, insert him into the picture, because God forbid it were to get out that murders happened as a result of this program that was going on at the school. So you want to insert somebody into the picture that is not connected to drug trafficking, something seedy that's going on in that area, because you don't want the attention drawn to that. So you pluck somebody and you insert them into the picture. Now, I do agree that it's plausible that he was framed, but
Yeah.
in my opinion, I believe that he is part of this whole big picture, and that there's bigger forces at play when it comes to Brian Koberger. And I'm going to stick to that. And if I'm wrong in the end, I'll own up to it.
Yeah, you could be right, and that could be the reason why if you look at other aspects like Hitler, like not giving in on anything, like just being one way, everything against Koberger, like stuff like that would make sense.
And without mentioning any names, there's a lot of money behind all of this.
Yeah, I was just going to mention this. I think the contract was $16 million for the Moscow Police Department, Idaho Connection, University of Idaho, to do this program of embedding officers in the Greek life. And so if you think about that, again, is it crazy to ask, would that entire program of embedding officers in Greek life and turning Greek people into CIs, would that get completely shut down if that process got 4 kids killed?
Yes.
And if it would have gotten shut down, that means they would lose millions of dollars. And
bingo, dude, you nailed it.
The motive.
That's it.
They'd lose millions of dollars, and people high in power would possibly lose their positions too.
Dude, that was it. You basically just explained the crux of the bigger picture. It's all about money. What do we always say? Follow the money. If it was connected to that program, then there's no way that program would be able to continue.
Right. So, that I feel like we just need to make sure people understand it makes sense that they would not, if somebody was a CI on the house, and because they were snitching to the police, they were confidential informant, they were snitching to the police, that got 4 kids killed. If that was a scenario they set up because they were encouraging students to rat to the police about drugs, that would be a huge motivation to cover that shit up, because they don't want people to know that they got kids killed because they thought it would be a good idea to turn kids into confidential informants.
Yeah.
So it's just something to think about.
Yeah. And it just, I feel really good in the sense that a lot of things we've all been talking about for months are sort of bubbling to the surface now. And
I-
people will think I'm
I'm sorry,
crazy.
Joe. I just want to handle something. Let's be respectful in the chat. We're not going to put up with name calling. If you don't like what's happening, if you don't want to be here, then just find another channel to watch. But we're not going to put up with disrespect. Okay. Sorry, Joe. Go ahead.
No. It's just a lot of the things we've all been speaking about for a long time are bubbling to the surface now. The
Yeah.
follow the money, the big picture. I always stand with that as a foundation for everything that I discuss. And because it has to make sense. The why has to make sense. And I think we're all on the same page when it
Yeah,
comes
it helps.
to that.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
so
'cause it would fall back on both the college and the PD because
Mhm.
they came into the contract together. Okay.
Yeah.
So being that they both agreed to the contract, that's going to look bad for both of them. So in turn, all the secrecy, all the covering up of this and that and everything else, 100% would make perfect sense to me.
And keep in mind, a condition, we read it online. It's a public document, by the way. It's publicly available. You just need to know where to look.
Right.
One of the
Right.
agreements between the university and Moscow Police Department is that any crime that happens related to students must immediately be notified to the university, and the university is allowed to sit in on interviews and be part of the investigation every step of the way.
Yeah.
So as soon as it was a house with 4 students that got killed off campus, the university was in their ass and was able to be in on all the interviews, all the suspects, determining.
Yeah.
So
They owned it. They own that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
explains Scott Green being involved in everything that PD did, period.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can I answer a question from the chat, DA, real
Yeah.
quick?
Yeah.
Mariek, let me see, what's the name? Trinidad said, explain bigger forces, please. Universities are connected to the banking industry. So anything that happens that impacts the university also impacts the larger banking industry. So, because student loans are, that's all
Yep.
the banking industry.
Yeah.
The government is
Yeah.
also connected to student loans. So universities are directly connected to the global banking cartel and the government. And that's a fact. So that's why I always say, you know, the bigger, higher up forces, because it's never something in isolation. So yes, to DA's point, the school would lose funding, MPD would lose big funding for a small police force, but also other entities would take a hit as well because of the money that would be lost in student loan revenue. And that is far bigger if you calculate all the interest and things over time. So that was what I was alluding to in my comment.
Yeah.
I'd like Dago, because this was a question that came up in the chat, and Dago and I were talking about this backstage a little bit. I'd like Dago to try to see if he can address for everybody. So there was one comment that was made. Lana exposed somebody that indicated Gower was a cop. And then also Dago was saying, did you see the interview with Gower where he basically claimed to be a cop? So Dago, can you explain what that means, who Eric Gower is, and the evidence that has come out recently that suggests that he may be law enforcement or associated with law enforcement?
Eric Gower was the rideshare Uber driver, whatever you want to call him. Okay. And Lana, Truth and Transparency, covered his interview with Detective Van Leuven. And there was the other detective I can't think of, but Van Leuven was the main. So anyway, so they go through the entire interview. It was pretty long. Okay. It wasn't like the typical 6-minute interview that we've heard. And they ask all the questions you can ask, this, that, and everything else, how that night went, so on and so forth, blah, blah, blah. And he talks about picking up a guy from John's Alley, which was one of the other bars in Moscow that is actually the bar that the Maddie and Kayla were supposed to go to instead of the grub truck, but they chose not to, went to the grub truck instead. So anyway, they pick a guy up, and then he dropped him off on Indian I can't ever think of the full name of it, but you guys know what I'm talking about, okay? So they interviewed this guy. the PD interviewed this guy. What came out was that the guy, during his interview in the report that we went through, stated that the guy, Indian Hills Drive, thank you, Mikey. The guy stated that the guy that picked him up from John's Alley and took him home to Indian Hills Drive claimed that he was a police officer. What?
What?
So again, Eric Gower is the guy that picked him up. There's no mistaking that. The guy claimed it, cleared it. It is what it is. Gower verified in his interview that he picked the guy up from John's Alley and dropped him off on Indian Hills Drive. There it is, right there. And so that guy has no reason to lie. Okay, no reason whatsoever to lie that this guy said, "Yeah, I'm a police officer." Okay, and he even told the couple. There was a couple actually. I'm sorry, told people that they got a ride home from the cops. So in turn,
and it makes sense. Yeah,
there it is, guys, and that
it makes sense. I mean, using a rideshare guy. I mean, NYPD.
Right.
I mean, we have undercover taxis. I mean, a rideshare guy would be a perfect.
And it would give
person.
what would it do? It would give an opportunity for, and this is hypothesis.
Yes.
Please understand. It would give an opportunity for someone like Kaylee, if she was a confidential informant,
right,
to have Eric Gower's personal phone number in her phone and arrange to get pickups and rides from him off the clock and not on Uber or Lyft's time to get rides, because it would give them opportunity for her to talk to law enforcement if she had a law enforcement contact, and he was it. That could have been it. That could literally, and that could have been why Kaylee sat in the front seat with them that night, was because Kaylee and Eric have a relationship because of the confidential. And again, it's questions. It's not allegations. It's questions.
Right.
Could that have been what happened? You know.
Hey, I just wanted to say, because I texted this to DA earlier. I listened to the interview that Lana posted with Gower, and in my opinion, and I'm just going based on my instincts, he does not come across to me. He speaks perfectly. Like he's to me, like I said, I've said it a million times. One is a New York City police officer. I have family that were NYPD. I have close friends that were state police, detectives, all this stuff. He sounds like a Fed to me. Like when I hear his interview, the way he's very sort of confident in his answers about everything, it just, to me, I don't know. I'd love to get one's take on this, because
I gotta watch it. I'll watch it after. I'll watch it after this.
One, you're a cop. You're a veteran cop. You know how cops talk.
Yeah.
And his wife works for MPD, or his ex-wife now works for Moscow Police Department. I believe she's a FOIA clerk too.
I don't know. I could be totally off the rails with this. I'm just going based on my instincts. Like he was so calm and so like devil may care in the interview, and like, oh yeah, like nothing happened. This is all just a dream.
Right.
By the way, I want to digress for a moment. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I want to digress for a moment, because one of the reasons why I moved from TikTok to YouTube was I was doing research on freedom of speech and who has more freedom of speech. And I was convinced that YouTube allowed more freedom of speech and didn't get involved in deciding what fake news is, right? They don't do the fucking fake news bullshit where they police what's true and what's not true. YouTube's policy has been, it's not our job to fact check things. We're looking for different things. So I came to YouTube for a reason. And I want to give a shout out to YouTube for this. Lately, the last few streams, we keep getting flagged for inappropriate information and trying to demonetize our videos. And tonight, I submitted a human review, and they've removed the flag because we're not doing anything wrong. So I want to say kudos to YouTube that we can talk about true crime, and they agree that we're not doing anything wrong, despite the fact that I think some people are trying to get the show shut down, think that we're not allowed to talk about what they're doing. But I just want to do a shout out for YouTube for supporting when we're doing it right. Because again, and I'll try to finish this side tangent. We specifically said last night we didn't want to show certain crime scene photos on the public stream because we wanted to protect the public from seeing something that they weren't prepared to see. And so we didn't do so. We're trying to do the right thing. So screw the people out here who think that we're a bunch of shitholes trying to be assholes. We're not. We're trying to do the right thing. We're trying to engage in adult conversation about a very, very disturbing international case that has public interest, and we're trying to do it respectfully. So those of you who think we're being disrespectful and probably keep trying to flag us with YouTube saying that we're doing something wrong, YouTube looks at it and says they're not doing anything wrong. So anyways, thanks for YouTube, I guess.
Yeah, thank you,
if you even
YouTube,
watch
man.
it for
Thank
following
you,
us.
YouTube.
Yeah. All right. Done. I'm done with that rant.
I wanted to bring up, I don't know, DA, what your thoughts are. I sent it to one on Discord, but I don't know if you got a chance to see it. That picture I came across last night. I know we're probably not going to show it on here, but people that already have access to the photos can check it out. What I said about that one image, DA, do you know?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep. Yeah.
Can I talk about that?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Okay. Last night,
Yeah, you got a good point with that.
Yeah, last night I was up, as I said, I was up really late. I'm a little OCD, so once I get into something, I'll lose track of time. I ended up being up till 3 a.m. last night, and I found one of the photos, and it was of Xana's room, and it was a mirror reflection, and in the area where supposedly Ethan was found on the bed in the corner up against the wall, there was like a very straight sort of, I don't know, rectangular thing, and then what looked like a head covered with something, like something was put over a face, and then between the thing covering the body, or what I think might be a body, and the face, it looked like a neck that was all red. And I thought, is that Ethan in that picture? And did they not catch it? Because that's the same area in other pictures that's blocked out.
Right.
And so what we saw in the images that we looked at in Discord last night, they had, the images that when the reflection and stuff, it just seems like that.
What number was it, Joe?
You know what? Let me look. Give me 1 second,
if...
and I can look because I have it somewhere here on my phone here. I'll have to see if it's if I can.
Will you send that to me too, JJ?
What's that?
Yeah, you
send
didn't.
that to me too?
I've got it. I've got the text message from you, Joe, but you didn't tell me the picture number. You just
yeah. You know what? I was very out of it last night, and this morning I wasn't. I took a screenshot of it, so I didn't have the picture number on my phone, and I'd have to go back through it. But it's in that room. It's in that batch from Xana's room, and it's a picture of the mirror that was standing up in the corner. It's actually really easy to find it. And I just, I'm like, I was in a weird frame of mind last night after our Discord thing.
Yeah.
And so I was just scouring hours, guys. I don't know what got into me last night. I was obsessed with the photos. I went through so many photos, and just any little thing that I could see that might have been overlooked. And I saw that picture, and it's like right in your face. And I'm like, is that just something that because you couldn't see a body clearly, that they just failed to redact? So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there for people that are familiar with those photos.
By the way, when Idaho, when they dumped that 2,790 something page for crime scene photo dump in the PDF, and they pulled it a few hours later. Have they ever put it back up again? I don't think they've ever put it back up again. Yeah.
Not as of yet. No. Not
I mean,
yet.
I'm at one last thing, DA.
Yeah.
I'm stating the obvious here, but there is no sign of Maddie in those images.
Yeah.
No.
By the way, somebody, I want to be careful because I definitely on this public show, I don't want to get too graphic in the photos. Again, we did it right, I think, the other night by moving it offline and putting it somewhere where it wasn't on the thing. But
Right.
somebody asked the question in that famous light bulb reflection question, and whether or not it's Maddie or Kaylee you see in the bed in the reflection. Someone asked me, is that just the photographer that's being reflected in the image? Like, is it not even one of the bodies? What do you think? Do you guys have thoughts about that?
Absolutely not.
No.
No, that's
Absolutely
a body.
not.
It's a body.
Listen, I went back through that, you guys. Like, I was kind of Joey must have been, I don't know what, like mental brothers last night or some shit. Because I was up till 3 o'clock this morning. After I jumped out of there, I tried to go lay down and I sat right back up. And I got right back on and I started scanning through the photographs and looking. And I went back because that light bulb was been bothering the shit out of me. I went back and looked at it. And a lot of people are saying, oh, that looks like somebody in a Tyvek suit. That looks like this. That looks like that. I'm sorry, you guys. And I hate to say this. I am about 99.959% positive that's Kaylee in that photograph, period. I was looking at different pictures. I went to look at other pictures of Kaylee. I was specifically looking at like side profiles of her. It is absolutely Kaylee. I'm sorry. It absolutely is. And I know a lot of people are saying, well, her face, based on what they said, was unrecognizable, so on and so forth. And again, all we can see in that is this. Okay? This side. And from what I was looking at, I even tried doing a DA and pulled a magnifier out. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And it truly does absolutely look like the shape, the round face that Kaylee has. The hair is a little darker, but I think it's because it's matted with blood and things like that because of all the stuff. It is absolutely, as far as I'm concerned, 101% Kaylee. Sadly, but it is.
Yeah. I agree. That's what I said to DA when I sent the picture to him, and I spent hours, guys. It's kind of crazy. I don't know why. I went through those and like looked at it a million times. And her face, I hate to even talk about this.
Yeah, I feel the same way, Joe.
It's horrific. It looks deformed. Like
it does slightly.
Yeah.
Like the swelling, the chin.
Yes.
I don't even
there's
like
redness. There's a lot of redness you can see, like kind of like within the eye areas and stuff like that.
I agree,
so.
Dago. You would know far better than I would, having seen a lot of stuff that I haven't seen. But it was, to me, it was actually upsetting, like very deeply
very much
upsetting
so.
to me.
Very much so.
Yeah.
But it looked like really bad. Really bad.
And I want to say and I know Dago feels the same way, and I know several of the people on the panel feel the same way. There's a part of me that even feels uncomfortable talking at the detail that we do.
Yeah.
Talking about is something we're not showing. But the question, like, show us the pic. There's a reason why we're not showing the pic.
We're not going to do that. It's not
even though we probably would be allowed to, maybe under terms of service, having somebody randomly scrolling through YouTube and seeing something like that on the screen is not, in my opinion, responsible. And so, again, I'm not shaming anybody for asking to see the pic, because obviously it's like, well, you guys are talking about, why can't we just see it for ourselves? The only reason I can say that is, look, keep in mind, the families filed a motion to not have the body pictures shown to the public, and the judge upheld that and said, I'm not going to show the public the photos. And setting aside for a minute whether or not the public should have the right to see the photos and examine them themselves, it was a ruling that was made that they wouldn't show it. Idaho put out a big, huge package that accidentally, in my opinion, showed a few images that probably showed bodies, and they may have pulled the whole package because there's a court order that says we're not allowed to show the bodies, and we kind of did, and they pulled it. So
and the New York Times posted that too, Lee. They said in the New York Times and the statement they made that it was temporarily pulled back down to ensure, their exact words, to ensure that they did not make any mistakes and miss things. So that's why they did it, because they did.
JJ, the picture is 1048. So for those who want to refer to it, we're not going to, go to it on here, but it's number
I'm just not-
1048.
What
And
do you
let's-
think, 1-1? And Dago, when you see it, I just want
Yeah.
to get your guys' opinion on it.
I'll have to go look at it. I will definitely give you my opinion. I haven't seen that one yet because I'm not. When I was going through the photographs, I was going through it slowly and detailing certain things, but I was not looking. Unfortunately, I wasn't looking for that because I didn't expect to see those things. That's why I was shocked when I saw what I saw.
Right.
So I will go back, Joe, and I will take a look, and I will definitely give you my input on it.
Let me say one more thing about the photos. One of the reasons why I feel like the public should have seen the photos is because rumors like
Yep.
nothing really happened. It's all a witness extraction. Nobody actually died. There's no victims. You never saw anybody being left in the house. Can be settled when you see bodies. Because then now the public can look at it and go, well, shit, there's no mistake. That looks like a dead body. And as much as it sucks, it puts to sleep that nobody really died. At least it does for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
If you don't show people, then they don't have they don't get to put that rumor to bed. That maybe
that's
nobody
why
died.
that makes me so angry, Lee. And it's not that I'm angry at people that say that. Okay, it makes me angry because I know, and I call them kids because to me they're kids. I have children their age. That's why I say this. Okay, it angers me in a sense because I know what they went through. Now we've seen what they went through. It's the absolute depths of hell. You can't get any worse than what these kids went through. Okay, it's horrible, absolutely horrible. So in my mind, the way I look at it, and I know that people say that it could happen, it may happen in different scenarios. It just bothers me internally to say that they didn't die, that they're out on an island doing this or doing that. That's why it bothers me, because it is a fact what happened to them. Their parents know what happened to them. Their families are dealing with the most horrible loss anybody could ever imagine having to go through, in my opinion. So that is, to me, it's kind of like a gut punch, if that makes any sense, you guys. That's why I feel like I do about it. So
really quick, Mama J was asking about, I do know there was more documents released and we haven't all had a chance to look at it. Was there autopsy information in those files?
There is there is some autopsy info, but not in depth.
Yeah.
They didn't give us what we want.
Most of the stuff today that was about different tips.
Oh, there's autopsy info in there too. One.
But there's a lot of tips, a lot of stuff on tips. I saw,
which I'll be, God help me, going through all that too.
And I just wanted to say, because it's people talking about it in the chat. I've been very clear about this. I've said that my take on the WITSEC thing as a possibility was only based on if I thought there were some scenarios that it was logically possible. I've been very clear all along saying that I do not think that's not what my strong feeling ever was. And anybody who's watched,
no, my statement wasn't directed at Joe. For everybody out there, I want you to know that.
I know.
No means whatsoever. I love Joe to death. I'm glad that I met Joe. I'm glad that he's in my life now because he has opened my mind to some amazing things. That being one of them.
Framed, great
some other
book.
things that I can look into now because I'm not, you learn from people, guys. So it wasn't directed at him. I've seen other statements out there made that are they're grueling at some time because I know from my experiences, the things I've been involved in, the things I've seen, the thing like one has been there for things like that too. And when you see these things in real life, not just in a picture, not just on a TV, but when you see them in real life, you realize the horror that's behind what happened to these kids. Okay. That's what my problem is with that. That's all. So again,
and I just wanted to say that too, because I'd like to make sure I address things that people say.
Sure.
Because I have said, because of some of the theories that have floated around with the potentially the WITSEC, federal marshals being there. But as I said, I think yesterday or in one of the last streams, I said, there could have been something in place.
Yes.
If there was a CI in which they would have been, had a system in place if they needed to extract the CI. So I just want to be clear about that.
And let me
Fiji
address
put this.
Let me address the Fiji. Let me address the Fiji thing. For me, and my channel, what I try to do is I try to make sure we always ask the why. So if you're going to do stuff like suggest, for example, that other bodies were put in place to pretend like there was somebody else's body, why would they go to that level is the first question I ask. And if I can't answer realistically why somebody would do that, I'm probably not going to cover it, because I need to understand why. And the answer, I've said this before, isn't because they can. They're fucking with us because they can. That is not a good answer for me. So on my show, where I'm going with that is, on my show, the reason why we don't dive into those so much is that if I can't reason out logically why they would do something like take a completely different body and then tell everybody in the public it was somebody else that it wasn't, I need to know why they would do it. And if we can come up with a why, if you can come up with a why, well, because they had to hide this, or this, then I might cover it. But if I don't have a why, I'm kind of like, I'm gonna fucking shelf that conversation.
Yeah,
I don't understand why they would even do something.
Right.
So that's where I'm coming with that.
Yeah, and I have to say, so after seeing the crime scene photos that we have now that were released, I know Dago, he chimed in on this too. You know, we our experience of showing up to these things. I do think Ethan and Xana were killed in their, you know, in Xana's room. So I was one of the people who said, I believe for a while, I thought maybe Ethan and Xana could have been killed outside, or, I mean, they still could have been attacked or something. But I definitely think, I mean, you look at that room, it's a bloodbath. I mean, it looks like World War III in there. Now, on a contrary to that, that is what you should see in Maddie's room. Yeah, that's what you should see in there. I mean, Kaylee's face was busted in. There should be blood. There should be blood spatter everywhere. There should be an enormous amounts of blood all over the place, and you don't see it. So I'm in agreement. Pav has been showing this as well. I do think Kaylee was killed on the second floor. You know, maybe either right at the bottom of the stairs, or maybe even right outside Dylan's room.
I'm with you on that. I said that,
and I do think Dylan saw this too. That footprint, you know, Dago, that you were covering as well, like very closely.
Yeah,
there's a footprint that I believe is from her shoe. It's kind of the way it's angled towards the door. It looks like, you know, she was looking right out. She was right there. So
there's no other way.
And you know, it's interesting too. I wanted to throw in one other thing. Another thing that's come up too. If you look at some of these pictures from the house, because I know everything is always about, you know, attacking Dylan, like Dylan this, Dylan that, because Bethany freaking, you know, took a shuttle bus out of the she hightailed out of there, right?
Yeah.
If you look at where her bedroom is, look at where Bethany's bedroom is. There's a picture that shows the stairway. The stairway goes right above. So if anyone was fighting on the stairway, or they were running down the stairs, Bethany would have heard it. So her saying she didn't hear anything, or she's full of shit too.
So real quick. By the way, thank you for the person who donated $20 to Dago's channel on that side. That's amazing. We're co-streaming, and his group and our group are interconnected. And I want to take a moment. Maybe it's because it's a Friday night, and sometimes I tip a few with JJ and whatever. But I want to love bomb you guys for a minute, and just I'll try to be brief. I want to love bomb you for a minute. What a fucking group we have here, guys. What a special show this really is. We got law enforcement experience. We got EMT. We got firefighter experience. We got a freaking brainiac and fucking deep state thinking. We got fucking Robin, who fucking is like, she literally is trained in a lot of this shit and how to hold shows together. We have a freaking amazing channel. So I'll stop love bombing, but thank you for recognizing the people who say, you guys got a great panel. Yeah, we got a fucking great panel, and I'm so damn blessed. Thank you, guys.
And if I can add to that, this is, I've seen where shows that have a panel with multiple people like this daily. They do a show every night, every day, whatever it is. I'm not just saying this because I'm sitting here. I'm saying this because even if I wasn't sitting here, and I thought this before I was sitting here, this is the best one on YouTube as far as I'm concerned. The best group of people, the best community on both sides. That doesn't even matter anymore. The best community in general, guys. It's not both sides to me anymore. It's just one big family now. And I'm very grateful to be part of this and very honored to be part of this. So thank you all very much.
Forget about it.
I just wanted to comment on that too, because I'm not always the most warm and fuzzy guy, but I wanted to say, and I do say
we love you, JJ.
that I always tell you guys I'm very thankful to be a part of this. I've said it many times. Yeah. And I truly believe this, that DA and I met by just a weird confluence of fucking things that came together, that we would meet and that we would have a meeting of the minds the way that we did from this first second we met each other. And then through him is how I met all of you. And Robin was the conduit for this, because she's the one who responded to my initial message that got me in touch with DA. And I've said this many times for anybody that was on the members only lives in Idaho, how much I love Robin's voice. I think Robin should be a voiceover artist, because she just has one of the most unique, literally one of the most unique speaking voices I've ever heard. And I'm a musician. I'm very sensitive to sounds. And meeting 1-1 and Dago through this right here is something I'm very, very appreciative of. Sincerely, I just wanted to put that out there. And the mods and the den, and now the meatballs that I'm getting familiar with through watching Dago's streams and stuff like that. I'm very thankful for it.
And we gotta definitely put, you want to send the love to us. There is no devil's advocates and no channel without the guy at the helm. So thank you.
Right.
We do appreciate you.
One show.
Yeah.
One show. Lee will tell you it was one show him and I did together, you guys. One. That's it.
Yeah.
I watched this show for about 2 solid months every day. Okay. And I said, you know what? I'm going to see if he will, if we can do something together. And we did one time. And it was like we were holding hands, skipping down the street after that from there on. Not to be weird, but that's exactly what it was. And we talked.
I know. And
here we are. I love it.
I feel bad because probably people are tired of it, but really, I love you guys. This has been a great collaboration. I can see it in the chat. People love the minds that come together. We do have something special. So I just it's been great. You're right. And we had an instant connection. All of us, I think all of us, the first time we really sat down with one of each other, we had instant connections. And so anyways, enough of that. We're spending a lot of time love bombing, but it is a great thing. And I appreciate it.
Real quick, if I can, happy dig anniversary, Molly. I love you, dear. 4 years, 48 months, 212 weeks, and 1,484 days. Love my videographer, guys. Molly's amazing. She does so much and has done so much. And she's been with me every moment of that time. So God love you, Molly. You know I love you to death, and thank you for everything you do. God bless.
Oh, wow. By the way, here's a question. DA question. How come Ethan Chapin's autopsy says he had 260 milliliters of Adderall? Isn't that an overdose?
It is.
How could he sleep with that much in his system? I didn't know this, so this is a fact that
we just found that out today, just today.
Wow, interesting.
It is, isn't it? Very much so.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question, Lee. Did he do that himself, or was he forced?
Yeah. Right. Right.
Makes you want
and again, I here we are again. I follow 5 or 6 different cases, and all we talk about is Idaho 4. It's the fucking case that won't die. But again, if we had proper autopsy reports so many questions would be answered. Did Xana actually eat the DoorDash food that supposedly she ordered? Because everybody's doing the whole, well, they had to be alive at 4 o'clock in the morning. Xana ordered food. Well, did she eat it? Was it in her stomach contents? Will anybody ever know? Will we know what toxicology reports said, who was drunk and who wasn't drunk, who was high, who was whatever? Like, we need to know those answers to put some of these things to bed, and we're still fighting for the answers. But anyways.
Very good point. Very good point, sir. That's why we can't get away from this damn case, because every time we talk about thinking about it, guess what? Guys, there's a new dump of files. There's a new picture dump. There's this, there's that. They won't let us get away from it. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole drug angle in this case was downplayed a lot by the mainstream media.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And by everybody, law enforcement and everybody surrounding it. Now we kind of I think we can all say we collectively understand why that is, because you wouldn't want that to be floating around. It's not going to be good for business for the university. And I've said this many times, like I've lived in party houses in my life, several of them, and every single one of them had drugs affiliated, like they were somewhere in the orbit of that house. You know, so
Witchy made a really good point here. The higher the amphetamine level, thank you, Witchy, by the way, but the higher the amphetamine, see, I don't know this about like that kind of stuff. The amphetamine number, the lower the blood level. Please, we must get this right. I'm begging you all to know. Yeah, so she said, where'd the rest of it go though? That's the rest of the thing I was trying to find. Where'd your statement go, Witchy? It gives the 260.
Your channel's been up for a year. Somebody wished you a happy birthday. You should mention that.
Oh, sorry. Did it just happen?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'll mention it.
Anyway, yes, that's that. I'm guessing that's true, Witchy. I didn't realize that was how that worked with methamphetamine. So my apologies if I said something opposing that. But there it is. Ethan's dose was 260 below testing level. Xana 12 was a very low dosage. Okay, so thank you. Like I said, about the methamphetamine levels, I don't know a lot about that. So 260 ng milliliters. So there we go. Okay.
By the way, since it's been pinned for a while, I want to thank the Mariac Trinidad for the donation and for appreciating what we asked, the questions we have. No worries. My wife stepped in for a second and said apparently we hit our 1 year anniversary on YouTube. I didn't know if that was today or what. So again, we won't go super long on the love bombing, but thank you all for hitting our 1 year anniversary on YouTube. We started on TikTok before YouTube, but it looks like we very recently or just now hit our 1 year anniversary, and somebody wished us a happy anniversary as a channel. So thank you so much for our first year, which was pretty damn good for a first year, I think. So
it means it'll be just so much better next year.
Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully.
Absolutely.
So
either that or Leo will wind up in a dungeon underneath college.
Well,
no.
I mean, to be honest
right?
with you, I mean, we've talked about this.
They said there's tunnels, right? They said there's tunnels under there.
Look, here's the thing. Like, I'm going to be going to Delphi. I'm going to be going, in the Richard Allen case. And if you believe any of the crazy movies that are out there, small town law enforcement pulls you off in the middle of the nowhere and you just get shot and killed. Like, I'm making a lot of people uncomfortable with this channel. So let's hope we have another year in it. Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna survive another year, but we'll see.
Dude, I've been here 4 years and it's nothing like what you're gone through, so you'll be good. You'll be doing
all right. Good. That's comforting to know. I'm a little bit. Sometimes I get a little nervous. I get over paranoid. I got to remind myself that they can't kill everybody. They can't. Like, at some point, it gets ridiculous. You can't kill everybody. So
yeah, and let me throw something else out there too, because I was reading a little bit of that earlier. I didn't get to go through hardcore, but they're putting it in here, and it's true. The whole thing with the amphetamine thing is a different scenario, but Maddie and Xana's blood alcohol levels were bad, and I mean through the roof bad. They shouldn't have been walking, standing, or moving.
Yeah, Maddie had point
Look,
282. That's high.
that's very,
very high.
Yeah.
dangerously
Well, yeah.
high.
The videos you saw of Maddie, she was stumbling all over the
Oh,
place
yeah.
and pretty hammered. Yeah, yeah.
Dangerously high. So again, you have to ask this question.
Yeah.
Was it like that on purpose, or did she do that? That's what or you know what I meant backwards from what I said. But yeah.
Yeah.
That's why.
And that's why I want to know why their clothes were wet. Were they forced to drink alcohol?
Yeah.
That's a good point, Robin. That's a very good point. Wow, I never.
Yeah,
thought
I mean, and short of again seeing documents, how are we to know? Did they test the clothing to see what they were wet with? Whether was some people said, well, was it wet with blood? Was it wet with rainwater? Was it wet with shower water? Was it wet? Like all of those things? If they did proper testing on it, we'd be able to tell what it was wet with, whether it was alcohol, rainwater, shower water.
Which you just said. I think that Maddie drank more when she got home. Well, like Robin said. Was it being forced? Okay, like come on, guys, something's not right with that at all. That level is crazy high.
Plus, at the grub truck, Maddie, I just looked at some grub truck stuff also, and she did not look that heavily intoxicated. Maybe buzzed up a little
not
bit.
Not to that level.
Not to that.
No.
She would have been stumbling all over the place.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's a lot. Well, here's something I don't know if you guys followed the Raleigh strain case. Did you ever see any of that, Lee?
No.
Robin?
Raleigh
Yes.
string?
Riley strain in Tennessee.
Okay, no, I haven't.
They found him in the river.
Man.
Okay. They showed a video of him walking through town. And I had to do a side-by-side with Matt. They showed the video of Maddie walking behind Kaylee and Showalter to the grub truck, right?
Right.
And I was like, I'll be damned. I looked at this video and then I ran them side by side. They're doing the same walk, which drunk people walk the way they walk. It is what it is. Right. But it was so wild. There were rumors that he was drugged. There were rumors with a drug that you can't trace, mind you. Okay. And they were also stating that that people were feeding him alcohol in ways that he shouldn't have had it. And that there was stuff put in his drinks and stuff like that. So I'm starting to wonder now. I really am, especially seeing these numbers and stuff. It's starting to make me wonder if these things could have been done on purpose. Okay. And I don't have any shame saying that because this is abnormal to see this. And people even stated in the reports of the interviews that they gave, they've never seen Maddie that bad.
Right.
So, I mean, these are all great points. Like where people purposely intoxicated so they would fight back less. Was there a setup involved? Was there pre-planning and motivation, or premeditated murder that happened, or was it just a random drive-by? Some guy that's an incel decided to hit a house full of people and thought he could just get away with it. Like that again. Fundamentally, the Koberger story makes less sense than anything, that he would just randomly pick a house full of people with a bunch of cars out front to kill one person, Maddie. Because that's what they tried to convince us. He was just after Maddie and everybody else was collateral damage. So you're going to pick a house full of cars out in the parking lot and hit a busy house to kill one person. That's what you're in a super tight neighborhood. Anyways, I'm ranting. JJ, you see that somebody asked you a question specifically.
Sandy Lou Who, thank you for the question. I've said for a long time that I thought the feds, there was an operation involved in the area before I even knew that there were multi-agency task forces operating in the area. And I won't bore people as to why I thought that early on, but I've felt that, and I just said it earlier on the stream, that were the feds local, LE, or was it federal? And my instinct is that if the feds were involved, it's very possible that they had CIs in the area. Now, as to your specific question, were they looking into MPD? That's also very possible. And I don't even want to go down that road right now because I'd have to put the tinfoil hat on and say, did somebody in local law enforcement find out about this? and then we have to go down a really, really dark road, which I can go down those roads with no problem. But I do think it's very possible. And as I said earlier in the stream, I spoke to a friend who was a state trooper today and asked him his opinion. And he said you have the potential DEA, you have the potential of FBI. Those are both plausible scenarios. So this is a complicated situation, and it's really hard for me to feel strongly about either one, but I think it's very possible.
And look, let me digress for a moment. When I worked with security clearance, they were very concerned about employees who had a top secret security clearance that didn't make a lot of money, because you can be bought then by people. Because, like, you know, if somebody comes along with an offer to triple your annual income, you might be inclined to give up government secrets because you're going to make 3 times than you can making your regular job. So it's not inconceivable. Police officers, small departments in small town America could be incentivized to be bought off by a drug trade. They're like, hey, look, if we buy off a couple of cops, double their salary, all they need to do is look the other way and make sure that law enforcement doesn't look. That can happen. And I know that's uncomfortable. We got law enforcement on our channel.
Not me.
Not you. You cannot buy one.
You cannot buy me. Maybe with a cigar. Maybe with a cigar.
Yeah, but not money. Not money. Anyways, the point being is that's not inconceivable. In fact, it's almost plausible that the less money your officers make, the more likely those officers could be bought off by big money coming in and saying, look, if you just look the other way on a few things, you can get a little bonus and maybe double your income, you know? And so it's not inconceivable to ask those questions. Where I'm going with that is, could the feds have even been looking into the possibility that NPD could have had some officers that had been compromised by a drug trade and maybe had been working with a drug cartel or whatever because they've been bought up? Those are all things that are not crazy conspiracy theory. That's within the realm of reality, in my opinion.
Can I throw something else out to you guys real quick too that I found out today?
After this one comment.
But are you good, Robin?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure she wasn't talking. So as we find out last night, there's a CI involved in this now. Okay. It started to make me wonder about other things. Well, then I started getting information sent to me like I always do and looking into other things. We already had a talk and a conversation, and I complained like crazy about the fact that the coroner was not allowed in the house until 8:30, 9 o'clock that night. Okay. Right. And other things like that happened too. Like they delayed certain things. Well, gentlemen and lady, come to find out, you know that they did not allow forensics in the house until the 17th of November.
Right. I think I did see that. I think it
that's insane.
And the swab boxes were all in the photographs we went through. The swab boxes are all dated January 27th, 22. And understand this, folks, that DNA, blood DNA specifically, it degrades by the moment. Okay. So they waited all this time to do this. The degradation of it couldn't have been anywhere near as good as it should have been. Okay. When it was fresh. Now here's the problem. Are they doing this on purpose to delay certain things, to change certain things, to keep certain things from being exposed?
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, man.
Definitely.
I think we all can agree on some level there was a cover up in this case.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think that's I don't even think twice about that. And so the question is, why? Specifically, why was there a cover up? Now we can.
Well, now we got. Now we kind of have it.
Now we kind of have motive for the cover up.
Kind of have it.
We have motive.
Yeah. So, and I do have a question. I missed somewhere throughout this case where the rumor came from about the Fight Club.
Yeah.
Like, how did that rumor get born? Because I saw somebody mention it in one of the earlier posts on
So
in the
there
chat.
were several things that I remember. I'll just try to be brief about it. There were several things I remember. There was somebody that was starting to discover that people in town had all bought like a Venmo purchase of exactly the same dollar amount, like $6.99 or some shit like that, right? And that people were paying to watch some kind of fight. And so there was this idea that at the grub truck, even you see like a group of people that are all sitting around watching their cell phones, that they had paid money to watch some kind of fight, and that they were cheering on. And some people hear them saying something like "Go Xana" or something like that, as if Xana was part of the fight or Ethan was part of the fight. There was crazy shit that came out. But from what I understand, that's kind of where that rumor started, that there was this kind of like underground fight club in the fraternities, and they charge money for pay-per-view kind of thing, where if you paid money, you get to watch a live stream of a fight that was taking place somewhere on campus in the underground sewer tunnels or whatever. So I don't know if there's any truth to it all, but that's what I remember the rumor starting with. But
I'll be right back, guys.
yeah.
Okay.
At
So
least we're called to a frat about a fight and it led to
I don't
Loach
know
and Ethan. I
about
heard.
yeah. I don't know about the police being called, but we do have confirmation that there was some kind of argument or whatever scuffle between Loach and Ethan at the fraternity. There's a first-hand witness that came forward, a female who was at the party. So yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of talk about some kind of fight or disagreement or major heated thing that happened between Loach and Ethan. But I haven't dug too much into it. Like that's the thing with this case. You have to really kind of pick what threads you want to pull. I've never seen a case with so many alternative suspects as this one. So it also leads to the question, though, with a case with so many alternative suspects, how did law enforcement rule everybody out so quickly? And then wait for a month for a lead on Brian Koberger and then go balls in on Brian Koberger. It just, those are the $1 million questions. There's a million.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's like a ground ball thing. Obviously you always look at, family members, ex-girlfriends, ex-boyfriends, wives, husbands, all that, you look at those the relationships. And then after that, like they have the show called 48 Hours. You look at the steps, you look at where every place that these people went and one of the, if you have someone that was at a party that visibly and in public with hundreds of other people saw some kind of argument or fight, then now that doesn't mean that he killed them, but that's definitely a place to start. You definitely would go there and question. As far as I know,
you would have to. Yeah,
I don't believe there's any interview with Loach, as far as I know.
So many things, and I'll say it for the millionth time. So many things were not followed up with that the only explanation to me is you don't ask questions for things you already have the answer to. So those should have been logical questions. Well, wait a minute. What if it was this? What if it was this? What if it was this? And when they don't follow up on those, it must be because they already know it's a waste of time to go down that path because they know what the answer is. That's my conclusion.
Right. And it's like when Gunderson was out there canvassing, that's why there was no real hard pushback. To me, in my opinion, it was like they were just going through the motions, making it look good so that people didn't look behind the facade that was being put out as a supposed investigation. So I agree with that, DA.
Shelley thinks that this case has many testicles, or I've been drinking too much and it's many tentacles, but I'm thinking it's many tentacles now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah. So yeah, good point. Sorry, I can't help it sometimes. I read things incorrectly, and that's what I saw the first time. So we didn't talk anything but Idaho 4, and I guess that's
what a surprise.
I mean, how do we? How do we? Like Dago said, there's sincerely a part of me that's like, oh my God, I just want to be done with this case. But how can you be done with it when I feel like maybe now today we're closer to getting to what really happened than we were 3 years ago. We're finally and I've said it before, in a lot of ways, it required the case to be closed with the plea deal for the documents to start getting unsealed. Because while there was an ongoing trial, everything was sealed under, sorry, this is an ongoing investigation. And there was a part of me that said, look, the real work in this case is going to begin when it's closed. When the case is closed and they can no longer have a reason to hide things behind behind the whole, it's an ongoing investigation thing, then we're finally going to be able to actually start getting to those real questions.
Well,
and that's what's happening, I guess.
Too, Lee, I'm sure you could ask the community here now from both sides of the fence here, if they want to talk about something else, and watch what their response is.
Yeah, good. Yeah, let's do I was to say, should we do a poll or just kind of like,
let's do it.
Okay, let's do a poll. Let me
and to chime in on that, I think we're close to having very, very significant threads to pull.
Yes.
That's what I think.
Yeah. And JJ, I think maybe like with some of this info that we're getting closer to, maybe we will get lucky and a whistleblower, as you said. I think a real whistleblower that we can prove, we can prove the stuff that they say, that they say. I think we'll have a big deal.
What do you want the poll to be there, poll master?
I'm thinking, and I'm looking for your input. I'm thinking just a simple question. Are you tired of talking about Idaho 4, yes or no?
Okay. That sounds good to me. Works for me. Let me see here.
And the whole whistleblower thing is something that I felt really strongly about for a while, because in an area like that, with the university being so dominant in that area,
right,
I think people would be.
You ready?
Yeah. So let's go ahead. On the count of 3, we'll throw it out to both of our chats. Are you tired? And before we hit the button, this just means, would you rather us talk about some other shit other than Idaho 4? So saying you're tired of it, yeah, you may be tired of it like we are. Like we're tired of this. But are you done talking about it and you want us to move on to something else or not? So are you tired of talking about Idaho 4? Are you ready to go?
Yep.
1, 2, 3, fire.
Yeah, because truly, he's right, folks. I fucking hate this case. Absolutely do. But I'm not going to stop talking about it. I can't. Or at least not right now, unless you tell me to.
We got 50 votes over here so far, 60 votes on our side.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. Well, just like the groundhog, guess what, folks?
It's going to keep coming back.
It's going to keep on coming back.
Yeah. We're running about 95% are not tired of talking about it.
Yeah, I'm at
proof is in the pudding.
I couldn't keep talking about it unless I was still like invested.
And that's what I mean. Like, you're right, because there's so much more to this, you guys. Like Joe said, there's threads that are starting to dangle now that we have to pull. It's not that we want we have to pull on to unravel what is happening now. And every time, like, I feel like, okay, guys, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I think about it the night before. I wake up the next morning and boom, the bomb dropped. And it's like, shit, okay, change of story. And I go back in to do what I'm going, the same thing. So there's never not a time to talk about something in this.
And I wanted to talk about something in more general, like overarching type of thing. Humans have instincts. We have them for a reason. It's part of it's in our DNA. It's a survival mechanism that humans have. Now, science has not been able to figure out how to study that yet. But, I tend to think it's like connected to like quantum physics. Like there's an energy field out there and we are tapped into it. We just don't always know it.
Yeah.
And that we pick up signals from things. I've believed this for a very long time. And that we pick up signals, and in the quote unquote gut instinct is often not trusted a lot, because we're all wacky humans. We question everything. We've got our history and our intellectual, state of mind and all these things. And we question our instincts. But I think gut instincts, one day, probably long after I'm gone, there will be a way to measure it. And then credence will be given to people, some sort of telepathic communication that occurs with humans. And it has been studied, by the way, because when I was in college, I did a paper on experimental psychology paper with parapsychology, and they have done a lot of studies on like morphic resonance and things like that, where and ancestral memory and all these kinds of things. Anyway, my point is, we all have instincts for a reason, and when certain cases or certain things that are going on trigger that, you have to follow that. And that's what leads to us pulling the threads. It's a gut instinct that there's something here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of deep, getting all metaphysical and shit, and philosophical and all that shit. But it's. I think intuitively, people across the world know that this case stinks to high heaven, and so yes, while there's a large number, unfortunately, and I don't like to use this word, but a large of sheeple who just go along with whatever mainstream media tells them. The reality is that for the rest of the critical thinkers out there, there's like, this fucking case makes no sense whatsoever. And yet now it's starting to kind of make sense, because now we're starting to see the why, the motivations, and holy shit, will this be a normal? Like, and here's the problem. I was just talking to my wife today. We're still listening to more chapters on the audiobook of the Framed book, and they're talking about people who languish in prison for 17 years, falsely convicted before they're finally released. So, I mean, is there any possibility we're going to get the answer soon, or is it going to be 20 years from now when we finally get the answer to this case? I don't know, but because a lot of times it doesn't happen quickly. But there's a lot of momentum behind this. Unfortunately, a lot of cases that have a wrongful conviction don't have pit bull communities going after it like this one does. So maybe this will help. But you're muted there, David.
You're muted.
It would be a monstrous waste of the time that we have invested in this if we were to step back and say, okay, that's it, I'm done. Right at this point, then everybody would have us all looking at us saying, are you guys insane or what?
You know what they'll say? They'll be like, who bought you guys off? Because you guys stopped talking about this.
Right.
And
I got 88% said no and 12% said yes.
Wow. Yeah.
There's a reason for that. And I still follow the Charlie Kirk case, by the way.
Yeah.
So I've still been following.
I do too.
Yeah. So it's, this, I think, DA, you can admit it. The Idaho 4 is a barn burner case, one of a century. You know what I mean? Like, this is the craziest case I've ever seen in my life.
It is.
It's insane. Like, it's the craziest case I have ever heard of, followed. It's insane. And I have a couple of family members that follow true crime, but they just follow what, the sort of mainstream people like Megyn Kelly and things like that. And I'm like, oh man, you gotta go way deeper than that, man. This case goes way deeper than that.
This case is monumentally obsessive for it's the true crime case of the century, it feels like, because of just the absolute. And again, it's funny. It's not, they keep wanting to tell you it's as simple as what it said. It's just an incel who decided to kill 4 people. And yet it can't be, because everyone in the world's like, that's fucking bullshit. Like, okay, not everybody, because again, there's a lot of guilters out there.
They're even starting to falter though.
And then
right. By the way, before I get to this comment, because I want to make a side tangent with this. I've had people tell me, DA, I've always felt BK was guilty, but one night I watched your show and your panel talking about this, and I'm like, oh my God, maybe I was wrong. So that right there is quintessential. The reason why it brings tears to my eyes to hear people say that we're making a difference, that there are people who are like, I thought that was an open and shut case, but I listened to you guys and I'm like, fuck, now I'm not so sure. So that's what we're doing.
Too. Yep.
Yeah.
Guys, that crime scene.
Yeah.
There is no fucking way. DA gets mad if I say freaking. So no fucking way that
fucking word, Joe.
Carnage was inflicted on people by this guy with no history of violence.
Yeah.
in that short of time, and there was nothing but trace DNA on a knife sheath that looks
Yeah.
like it literally somebody just bought
he-
it at Walmart and drove it over there.
And he
This
doesn't
is a-
even have a, and he doesn't have a scratch, and he doesn't have a scratch on him.
And
No,
I want to side
tucked right
tangent because sorry, go ahead, Robin.
No, I was just saying it was just like tucked right in there, just nice as you please.
How
Yeah,
convenient.
it's funny because this is a guy that was squeamish. His sister said he was squeamish over the sight of a paper cut one time with blood. So that the guy who's squeamish over a paper cut is the guy that you think hacked up 4 people and got blood all over himself and all over the house. Real quick, I wanted to mention I've seen several chats tonight bringing up Tommy Jude.
Yes.
I want to say this. I didn't know Tommy Jude as a person. I watched a few of his stuff. I know that some of you on my panel have watched Tommy Jude a lot. I want to say that what I've been convinced of is that so much of our community loved Tommy Jude. Tommy was a
good
loss. It was a loss. You got we had a nice tribute on our show.
Yeah, he was actually you were actually organizing with him. He was going to come on your show, and then he
he was
sick.
supposed to come on the show. Yeah. So I just want to say for those who keep mentioning Tommy Jude, what a blessing to the family of Tommy Jude to realize that he is such an impact that people on other channels are still talking about him about, oh my God. Like somebody said tonight, your show is the closest I've seen to Tommy Jude's show as far as, and I'm like, this guy made an impact. So I just wanted to take a moment to remember Tommy Jude.
He was saying for a long time that this was involved with drugs, and he spelled out he was positive. I mean, he did one of his last shows. I have it bookmarked. I it's like a 4-hour live, but it was like an hour where he went through everything that he believes happened. And
is that the one that I was on the channel for?
No. You weren't on the panel.
Okay, then it was this
on that one. But he very, very strongly said, again, these are threads, theories, it's not concrete info, but
he knows
I've said it 1,000 times that Jonah Chapin now being at the food truck is a huge deal.
Real quick, I'm gonna go ahead, Robin.
I was just gonna say Tommy's up there shaking shit loose. I firmly believe that is what is happening right now. I mean, people left and right are catching little bits and pieces that are coming together to show the whole, and I firmly believe that Tommy is helping that along. I firmly believe it.
Yeah, Tommy.
Just before, just so I don't confuse people, as I know we're not going to go into a whole big thing about him. Jonah Chapin was arrested 3 days later. He's a huge violence drug dealer. I think he has connections to the Aryan Nation as well. He's actually he's on a U.S. Marshal hold right now. He is not related to Ethan Chapin. Yes, he has the same last name as everything else in this case. How many people have the name? Jack, and he's not related to Ethan at all. So,
and someone just mentioned the Fight Club DA in the chat again, because I saw it come up a few times tonight. I don't discount anything.
Right.
Like that's the thing. People have to understand that about me. I'll pull a thread and we all dig into it. But I understand fuckery, and so I don't discount anything. Some of the shit we've all learned in our lives and we found out that was going on, like nothing shocks me. No, the craziest shit that could come out. I mean, some of the shit our government's been doing for many decades, most people wouldn't be able to sleep at night if they knew. So nothing shocks me. I don't rule out anything that could have very well been going on there.
And I want to kind of wrap up here, but I want to tell you guys some things. Somebody mentioned
we're going long tonight. Come on, man. It's Friday night. Don't give me this 2 hours.
Why are you always trying to get out of here? You don't like us? What?
What? You know what?
By the way, you got me tipping a few. You're not bailing on me now.
listen, you know what?
We got Joe wired now.
I had some people asking us to return to the after dark party and try that again, where we go to Discord and we really let loose on our thoughts and stuff like that. So we might do something like that. Well, what I was trying to get to on the close was some people mentioned the custody queens. What you guys don't understand, by the way, and I just want to let you know, I'm still in talks with attorneys, including the custody queens. We have been recently texting each other in private about the recent, same with you, Dago. So do keep in mind, I know you guys say that we should get together with them. We are actually kind of forming that friendship where we talk to each other outside of what you see on the channel. So the custody queens and I have recently talked about the new crime scene photos that came out. We've recently talked about I gave them a copy of my letter from the FBI saying that they're not going to respond to any of my FOIA requests and stuff like that. And they're looking it over. So we are behind the scenes, we are still working with custody queens, and Ali Benevento and I still talk, attorney. So we just because you don't see them on the show doesn't mean that they're forgotten. We are actually working behind the scenes with them. It's just they have their own shows and they're not always up here.
You guys know, in fact, it was 3 hours ago. I had a respond. I had to respond to Kristen about us doing a new situation coming up here soon too. So.
Nice.
It's coming full circle, guys, all the way around. That would be my second show with them. So yeah. And by the way, speaking of that, real quick, if you don't mind me doing a real quick plug, Lee. Tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm gonna be joined by Logan from Bronx Tales True Crime.
Nice.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting together to discuss some things together. So I would love to see all of you guys there as well. If you can be there to check it out, it'd be a great show.
It's funny you mentioned that. A long time ago, I saw Bronx Tales, and I thought she would be a good fit for, our panel and stuff like that. And so I reached out to her, and I can't remember. We didn't go very far. So it's funny you mentioned her because I just mentioned her again. I was like, man, what happened to Bronx Tales? Because kind of dug her vibe. So
maybe we'll discuss that tomorrow. Then
I'll be interested to watch that. That sounds really great. And by the way, Murder Metal Mayhem, Pete Alturi. Let me at the sake of annoying the people, do a little bit more love bombing. Pete Alturi was one of those channels in the early days when I was a little channel. I was a little tiny channel. I told everybody, I'm a nothing. I'm a tiny channel. He recognized something in me. Pete Alturi went on with me and introduced me to his audience. Birdie Bombshells, another YouTuber who had a bigger channel than me, that said, man, I see something in this guy, introduced me to his channel. I just want to say there's a lot of unsung heroes out there that when we were small, they recognized that we had something special, and I still have a warm spot in my heart for Pete Alturi. We don't do the weekly show that we used to because we felt like we weren't 100% dovetailed on things, and we thought we were just kind of force things too much, so we stepped back a little bit. But he and I are on a friendly basis. We exchange text messages from time to time. It's always friendly. There's no love lost at all there. So thank you for all the creators who helped us and recognized, and I hope that we do the same thing. When we see promising channels, we'll try to help them out as well and get started. And so it's a pay it forward kind of thing. So thank you all.
I do that constantly. I love doing that. Yes.
Well, I found Dago through this channel. I think DA, I think I found you either through Birdie or Pete.
Yeah.
And so I found other creators through different channels, Unfiltered Lucky, like different people that have been around the horn, and that's how you get exposed to different people. And for me, it was the Idaho 4 case, obviously, that exposed me to different people. Now I watch Dago's channel pops up every day in my feed. Yep. And when I'm at work, it always pops up. So you're getting promoted, Dago, and I listen to that. The Custody Queens pop up every day in my feed, so I listen to that. Pete still every day. Pete pops up in my feed. Murder Metal Mayhem, and I listen to that. Birdie pops up on my feed, so it's true. There is like a little interconnected community, and it's interesting.
JJ, guess what? When you're done with work, I can guarantee you Dago will still be streaming.
Oh, he's dude, I can't hang with his streams, man.
I don't know.
Your
I don't know,
marathon
Dago.
streams, dude.
Yeah.
I'm just like, holy fuck, this guy's brain is just like nonstop.
I don't know
Yeah.
who's longer, you or Lana. Lana goes long too.
Listen. When I tell you I have ADHD, I'm not fucking lying. I have ADHD. Okay, I can't go to sleep at night, so it's like I have to continue talking about things, and I can't do it on my show because my people will hate me if I keep doing that. So I have to go around to different places and do it. But no,
Yeah. And real quick, AR Hayes. A lot of people have mentioned AR Hayes. AR Hayes frequently drops in on our shows and says hi. I've gone live with Pete Altieri and AR Hayes several times. So yes, shout out to AR Hayes as well. So, anyways, it's always great. We're treating. I love it when all of our channels treat each other with respect and don't view each other as competitors that we have to get into a dick swinging contest with and try to see who's got the bigger drone or a bigger pole. Anyways, but. I mean, it's good when we don't have.
Oh my God. Yeah. But no, in all seriousness, with what you were saying a little bit ago, I have to say I agree with. I push. If I watch a lot of channels, okay, and I try to at least because I like to see who's doing what, and I have a lot of people that have come out of my own channel, a few of my moderators, and other people I've seen that just because of what I was doing, I was told they decided they wanted to try to start their own channels too. Not all of them, but some. And I try to push. If I see they're here doing the right thing, looking for the right things, in my opinion, they're not out here just trying to cause drama or things like that, I will absolutely run. I've spent literally, I mean, you guys have probably seen it, 15, 20 minutes dropping links in my chat for other channels to try to get them going. You know what I mean? Go see them, check them out. They're doing great things. And I fully believe in that, you guys. That is the only way. It's not a competition. Please, please, please. Anybody that believes that, you're out here for the wrong reason, okay? Nobody is out here. We shouldn't be out here damning other people because they're doing better than you one day than you think you are, or things like that. That's not the way to do this. Please don't do that. Yeah. You know, support each other. We are all we have out here. And at some point, it's going to come back, folks. I fully believe in real karma. If you do the right thing, it will come back to you. I promise you that. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Here. DA, I got to say something here.
Yeah.
Two things. I lied. I got to say two things. We should keep going. Number one, people in the chat want us to keep going. And number two, I made a post in the chat earlier a while ago. And I said, Dago looks like the kind of dude you would not want to fuck with. And I know he's from the Rust Belt. And I know people. I can read people pretty well. I'm pretty sure that Dago is the kind of dude you would not want to fuck with. Anyway, I just wanted to say that.
Well, it's a good point because, like when we talked about going out to places like that neighborhood where somebody was trying to shout me out and tell me to go the fuck away, it would have been nice to have people that are by your side who would be like, yeah, that's, you know, you're not going to intimidate us kind of thing. So that's always cool. As far as, I mean, I see you making a pitch for going longer. And as far as going longer, we can do that. I know if you guys want to stretch it a little longer, we can. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to wrap up? I usually don't try to make it no more than 2 hours. I don't want to burn people out, but freaking, I'm talking to Dago who goes sometimes 5-6 hours at a time.
Forget about it.
Do a poll.
All right. I'll put my poll out there and see how it goes. Let's see here.
Onward.
Let the people decide.
I guess I'll do the poll too. Hold on.
We might have to take a piss break to.
I have to be an instigator. I'm sorry.
What are you asking?
Should we go longer tonight? How about that? Yes, no. Should we go longer?
He's making sure he's saying tonight, so it doesn't end up being a regular thing.
Look, yeah, I got a life. I got 5 cases I cover. God damn it.
Look, you instigated this shit, DA, yesterday.
I know.
You're gonna get some drinks.
I
don't get out much these days, and I don't.
I get it. This is our social entertainment right here.
You got to deal with
Friday night out. Yes.
All right. So, are you ready for this poll? It's going to be.
Should we go longer tonight? Yes, no, and I don't care.
Okay, I didn't add the I don't care. Let's go I don't care. How about that too? I don't care. All right. Should we go longer tonight? Yes, no, I don't care. 1, 2, 3, pop it.
All right. And to back to your question or your statement, Joe, I'm probably one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in your life until I'm not. That's all.
Yeah, I get it. Look, you
That's
don't
all
have
I'll
to tell
say.
me, dude. I can read shit.
Yeah,
I
I'm a
wouldn't wanna
very
fuck
nice
with you, I
person.
know
I
that.
love people, but just don't piss with the people I care about. When you do that, we have a problem. That's when the Sicilian comes out of me, as I call it.
I wouldn't want to mess with you.
No, you'd never have a problem.
Never get in a battle of wits with the Sicilian when death is on the line. Anyway.
Yeah.
I'm running about 91% going longer, 3% no, and 6% they don't care either way. And I think what it is here's the thing. To a credit to us, I think a lot of people, if they say they want us to wrap up, is because they don't want to miss anything. So they get that fear of missing out part. They're like, well,
Right.
shit, wrap up because I don't want you guys to keep going for another hour and I missed something. So, but anyway,
Well,
so
I got
might as well
88.
you should do a marathon on Sunday night. Some of us are getting like 20 inches of snow. So
Yeah, right.
right.
I got 88% says yes, we should go longer. I have 0% that says no. And
wow.
12%, these are my people though, so they're used to me. That's probably why.
That's fair. My side is used to me shutting the hell up after it used to be I would shut up after an hour. Then it was 2 hours, and then you came onto the show and fuck it. Now we're going 3 hours,
It's
4
my
hours.
fault. It's my fault.
It is. It's 100%.
I got to
Okay.
reset my camera. It's overheating. So
yeah,
You just
frozen.
asked us to go longer, and now your camera's gonna overheat.
we're going too hard tonight, so my camera overheated. I'll be right back.
All right. If we're gonna go longer, how should we do it? Should we take questions from the audience and spitball some shit? Should we have somebody come up on screen with us and ask a question?
Yeah,
Or just randomly spit?
See if someone wants to come up.
Make it fun.
We're in bonus time. So if you guys got a question, again, keep in mind, we do have more cases we follow. We follow Delphi, Richard Allen's appeal. We do talk from time to time, obviously still about Luigi Mangione. We talk about Long Island serial killer Rex Heuermann and the related cases like Shannon Gilbert's disappearance. Mickey Stein's, which I still think that case is going to be monstrous, and many more. So
Somebody wants us to do karaoke.
you would have to do it. You got the voice. We don't have the voice. So. What's the topic on call? This is it. The topic is what you guys fire at us. Fire at us a question.
I see a lot of people asking about the autopsy reports.
See, we can't. I can't comment if we haven't seen it. Yeah.
Right.
I
didn't really.
a little bit, but it's not really much of a report, you guys. It's just a little bit more they gave us of certain things. That's it. So, and I didn't go through 90% of it. I just got a chance to glance at it because I
can't even find a link to it. I tried to find it when somebody said the autopsy report out there, and I couldn't even find the link to it.
I'll give it to you. Hold on.
And I just want to kind of, I saw several things in the chat saying, I wish they'd read the documents. Well, they just dropped yesterday. And so you have to remember, folks, we all have like other responsibilities. Diego has his own channel. One he's got a demanding job. I'm working 10-hour days right now, folks.
I've been looking at blood for 5 days, you guys.
We will get to them. We will get to them. So,
and if you guys have ever, this is one of the bitches I have. It's not a bitch about Lana, but I have people tell me all the time, I like Lana because she actually goes over the legal documents. And I'm like, I go over the legal documents all the time. And here's the worst part. When I do go over a legal document, I fucking go in depth. Like I talk forever about the legal documents. So I do cover legal documents. But again, as Robin said, there's only so many hours in the day. Did you fix your camera, Joe, or is it just temporary?
Yeah, no, my camera overheats. It's a decent camera, but that's one of the things that's not great about it. If it's a longer stream, it overheats. So you just got to unplug it and reset it. You got
to put yourself a fan blowing on your camera to cool it down.
Yeah, it's just whatever.
Ice pack underneath. Do we do a call in? Queen of Denial. Yeah, let's do a call in. Let me throw the link in the channel. You want to come up on the screen or something like that? That'd be great. Why not? We're in fucking bonus time now, so anything can happen. Anything can happen. Let me put a link back here. Yeah. So if you want to do a call in, come join us on screen, and we will talk to you.
Look in the private chat, Lee.
Okay. Oh, well, how come I don't find the private chat area?
And Robin, I sent you that picture on Discord,
Oh,
by
there
the
it
way.
is. Okay.
It's on the side. Yeah.
Oh,
I think
thank you very
I
much.
gave you the same link twice, Lee. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Got it. Okay, so this is the autopsy.
This is the new.
Redacted exhibit. Okay.
This is all 155 pages, I think it is.
Oh, good Lord. I can't do that on the fly.
No. It's not gonna be tonight. I'm just giving it to you so you have it.
I appreciate it. And Amanda, who's our kind of document queen, she told me that she's got it on our Discord as well. So thank you for sending that to me.
Well, there you go. I figured she would have it, but
yeah, no, it's okay. I thought maybe we are going to pull it up and talk about it tonight, but I don't think we can with 155 pages. I'll be here all night.
We'll be here. We'll be like Twiz and fall asleep.
Does Twiz fall asleep on his own show?
He has. He has.
He was on for 12 hours one night because he fell asleep.
I did that one time. I fell asleep once on the thing where and of course my lovely mods that love me so much because they're assholes took screenshots of me doing this because I just fell completely out. I think I was on a 10-hour live or something because it was a hearing or a trial or something. But yeah,
that's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right, somebody said they wanted to join us backstage.
Yeah, there's someone in it. Yeah, we need a link in the chat.
Did I not post?
I thought you put the link in.
Someone is asking here, how do you call in? So,
you click on the link in the chat, the StreamYard link in the chat will take you backstage. There we go. Tommy Boy Charm is backstage. Tommy Boy Charm. We ready? Ready? Are you ready? Let's bring her up. What's up?
Hey.
Hello, Tom
Hey
Boy.
Hello. Good evening.
Tommy Boy. Tom Boy.
Not
how you doing?
Tommy.
I just dropped the Y. Pardon me. Like I've had a few drinks tonight, so.
So I have a question. Have y'all seen Gower's second interview?
The one that
I have.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it yet.
I watched it. I watched it earlier.
What do you think of the bomb?
Dago said it was huge, right? Dago, you were like you thought it was monstrous, right?
In my opinion, are you talking about the police thing, Tomboy?
Well, yeah, that too. Yeah.
What other one are you talking about? I didn't get into everything.
Has anybody seen a document that the red Jeep was broke or?
Oh yeah, that I forgot about that.
Non-drivable, because I haven't. The only person that's ever said anything was Hunter.
Ethan's Jeep that was parked there. That according the rumor was that the battery was dead. It couldn't be moved. It just sat there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Eric Gower said in his second interview that when he dropped the girls off and he watched them walk in the house, that red Jeep was not there.
Huh.
And there was a black SUV and a silver car, double parked. Which to me, when you say double parked, you're on the road.
Mm-hmm. Or behind another vehicle or something. Yeah, right.
But you're on the road. Double parked means you're pulled up parallel with them.
Right. Yeah, and if anybody who's been to that neighborhood knows that if you're double parked and you're in there's like next to no room to move around in that place. The roads are really tiny, and it's you have to like do 3-point turns to flip around and go the other direction. It's tight there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, motorcycle always came in handy when we were in Moscow.
Sure. Yeah. Especially on those
so what do you
neighborhoods.
What do you, since you brought it up, Tom Boy, because we haven't talked, I didn't get to go into Discord with you guys like I do after shows, but so what's your take on that? What do you think?
Well, first of all, I don't think we ever see whether he says the Jeep was there or not. I don't think we ever see on the cameras whether or not it leaves.
No.
But then again, you're missing everything up until 12:55. So they could have been home at midnight, like they said. Who knows?
They could have been in that room hiding or like doing their own thing, and somebody went in there after them first, and then the girls came home to that situation. Maybe, yeah.
And then Mr. Gower himself, he just he just overloads his own asshole because he just doesn't shut the fuck up. Dude, shut up.
He's not lying, Lee. He would not shut up. He just kept talking. And Lana's like, "You want to keep talking? Keep on talking, buddy. Keep on."
Diarrhea.
He picked up a fare at what the hell's that bar's name?
John's Alley.
Yeah, John's Alley, and said he drove him to Indian Hills.
Yeah.
And that's the same couple actually, that said that they were picked up that night by a police officer. And
yeah.
Ta-da!
Yeah, it was. Yeah, he just didn't know. But then the two investigators that were questioning him are just
idiots.
I think they actually got them from a Cracker Jack box.
Van Leuven is probably the worst form of a police officer I've ever seen in my life.
Van Leuven was from the
ISP.
Brian Drake case.
Yeah. Van Leuven's horrible. His questioning is ridiculous.
Hi, Tomboy. I had a question for you. What did you think about when Lana, she locked into the one thing that Gower said when he was like, oh, he got booted and then freaked out or flipped out or whatever, and Lana was like, the cop, it was basically commenting on the fact that the cop didn't go, what do you mean he got booted? And
because they knew what it meant. They knew the lingo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was listening to that. I listened to the whole thing, and I commented on this earlier. Gower he's very well spoken, right? And he's a rideshare driver, allegedly, right? He seems very composed and well spoken and unaffected. He talking about a quadruple homicide. What did you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think he was. It's like it didn't affect him at all. It's like, okay.
Do you think he could be? Yeah. I think what Joe's hitting at is, do you think he could be affiliated with an agency or an organization
to infiltrate the campus? Yeah.
Good, because that's what popped into my mind. You know, when I was listening, I'm like, this dude is like blasé about the whole thing. He's like, oh yeah, like calmly talking about everything. He's super well spoken, never stumbles on a word, never stumbles on anything. He's got an answer for everything. It's like, dude, you're talking about a quadruple homicide. You supposedly knew these people, and he was completely unaffected the way that he was speaking. That's what struck me the most about that interview.
Yeah, and he said first off that, the FBI took his phone to download, and he said, well, all the information's on my phone, but I don't have a really good memory. But I'm telling you, this dude was spot on times and dates and everything. But he did call Dylan a dude.
Yeah.
Or hinted at least that, yeah.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if it was a man or a woman or whatever he said. I forget the exact words.
But he also said that he got the text, are you driving on Thursday?
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, there was just a lot.
Along that lines, I mean, I don't mean to sidetrack it, but along that lines, there's a lot of points in this case where it feels like a fact happened, but when it happened is wrong. Like, when did Bethany see the flash and the firework? When did it's like the what's being reported may be true, but the time of when it happened is incorrect. And that's and again, if you're a person who believes in a lie, the best lies are based on reality in some extent, because it makes it easier for you to tell the lie if you at least have it based in reality, something that actually happened. You're just fibbing about when it happened. So there's a lot of those weird moments where, like, did that happen on Thursday? Did it happen on Friday? Maybe it really did happen, but what day did it happen? And that makes a difference. We did have another guest, by the way, join us backstage.
Well, I'll hop down. Y'all could BS.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate that very much, and we'll make room for another person then to join us up on stage. Thank you so much.
Thank you, boy. Great job today, Jared.
All right. Let's make room then for Shelly. And you're on stage. I got to move the parental advisory off your face. It looks like. There you go. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Hello from Australia.
Oh gosh, it's so amazing. We have so many people from Australia who watch the show. It's so
Yes,
cool.
we love our Aussies.
Hey,
Welcome.
What's going on?
Can I just say that your chat and your panel is so diverse that it's really interesting to get back onto a panel or see a panel that is having these conversations, whether it's Idaho 4 or it's any other case. It's great to see your perspectives from each one of you. I really enjoy that. Thank you.
I appreciate that very much. And I think it's kind of funny because the panel just kind of evolved and we kept adding different things, and we've got a really good mix now. We've got a really good mix. And I love that people appreciate the panelist and the kind of, it's funny because some people think we're all an echo chamber and we all say the same shit, but I don't think so. I think we have different perspectives on things.
Thank you.
You do. And you absolutely do. And I think that's what makes it so unique, that you bounce off each other with all your different ideas. And I've been watching Dago for a long time, since the beginning of this, and back with Carly Rodney days, and Lana and Jules and all of them. But I have to say about these 4 beautiful young kids, and I will call them kids, is that I wanted him to be the one. I probably, like the families, I wanted him to be the one because we all wanted closure in this.
Closure, yeah.
I remember at the beginning that we were all so frustrated because it was taking so long, but it really, in reality, it was only like 6 or 7 weeks. But from what we're all what you're all uncovering, all of you guys, with Lana as well and Jules as well, from all these foyers and everything, and just discussing it, is that it never made sense from the beginning. None of this made sense from the beginning. And you think about, they put a gag order on it, right? That to me is total injustice to begin with. Why? Because it's a high profile case. Well, there are many high profile cases that do not have gag orders as well. And also, now that the body cam comes out and everything, and the amino black in all the rooms and all the evidence that we're now seeing, I'm totally changed my tune on everything, thinking, I don't know, that they've got a guy, and I feel for the families because they need that end of day situation, and I understand that totally, that they do, but it's not making sense. It still doesn't add up because the evidence is not making sense, and the reluctance in the court of not allowing any other perpetrators' evidence to come in with that DNA and all of that sort of thing that happened as well. I'm beside myself now. I feel like we're back at square one when it first happened.
So I want to thank you for being open-minded, because it's great. It's amazing when someone says, I wanted this case to get over. I wanted closure for the families. And yet you kept open-minded. So kudos for you for staying open-minded, because a lot of people wanted to put this to bed and they just wanted to feel like it was over. So thank you. And anybody like you who keeps an open mind and says, it could have been easy for us all to take the easy answer, but the easy answer didn't make sense. And so you stayed with it. So I really appreciate that. I want to cut us short a little bit because we got 3 other people queued up behind stage. So
I just wanted to say real quick, Shelly, thank you for your long-time support as well. God bless.
Oh, no problem. And thank you, guys. And thanks for keeping a spotlight on this, because at the end of the day, it's for the victims.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yes, correct. Thank you so much.
I love your accent, Shelly. Thank you.
Thanks,
very
JJ.
cool. And thanks to all the Aussies out there. I from what I heard, I was trying to figure out why so many people from Australia watch the show. Turns out people in Australia seem to be like more into true crime than Americans. So it's very cool. Appreciate you representing.
We love
you. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you. And thank you for having me. Okay.
You bet. Thank you.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.
All right, let's bring up, we got Marty, we got Laura Kaya, we got Lafcadio backstage. So let's bring up Marty and give everybody a chance to get some questions in. If Marty's camera will circle and spin and circle and spin. Are you there, voice-wise at least?
Marty Fodgel.
Marty may be in a continual spin.
Yeah.
Don't get dizzy.
So
Yeah.
I will remove Marty. You're backstage still, but your camera's kind of fuzzed up. So Laura Kaya will be. Oh, Marty's camera just came back on. Let's give Marty one more shot. Let's just see if it works. You there? You're sideways.
Figure it out.
Whoa.
Are you there?
Marty's
Now you're
upside down. now.
You're giving me
I
vertigo.
mean-
You're giving me vertigo. You're upside down now.
I didn't think my cup of whiskey was that big, man.
I'm hammered. I'm off my ass. I'm upside down.
It's your fault.
Getting
Ian.
there. He's working it around a little by
All right,
little.
let's pull Marty. Let's get Marty to not give me the spins. Apparently, I have the spins. I've been drinking too much. I got the spins. So let's bring Laura up.
That was great, though.
How you doing? Hey, oh, you're
Yep.
muted. So make
You're
sure you
muted,
mute
Laura.
yourself.
Oh, there we go. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not spinning or upside down.
No.
No.
No, I think I'm sober again. What's going on? What do you got for a question or a comment for the panel?
God, I mean, there's so much, but I'll try to cut it down. This case is so irritating. I think everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But there's so many things that don't make sense, like how Kaylee's blood is in the staircase, and it's also on the table, but yet she was only upstairs. And like Xana's room, how did somebody step in all that blood and then get out of there without any footprints? And they didn't try to use any amino black in the hallway to try to like track if there was any footsteps. It seems like a cover up.
There did seem to be a pretty large pool of amino black outside Dylan's room for at least the footprint. There was a pretty large spot, and there was a big one that we pointed out at the sliding glass door on the second floor. Did you see
But
that
I mean,
one?
coming out of Xana's room, like with all
Yes.
the blood that was in there, how would you
Yeah,
get in
yeah.
there, do that, and then walk out and not?
Right.
So, like, what, you have time to take your shoes off or something? Like, why
Right.
did they not put amino black in the hallway outside of Xana's room to see if there's any trace?
Yeah.
You know?
Cross contamination between the two floors should tell us everything, and we seem to have a really lack of understanding what floor started on and where the cross contamination goes and how blood tracked from one scene to the. Because if it was one person, they've got to track blood from one scene to the other.
Right.
They have to.
Right. And you made a good point, because all of only Kaylee's blood is found on the beer pong table.
Right.
That's it. Only hers. So
Yeah, and the staircase between the first and the second floor, which why would you be there and be bleeding, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Feels like they didn't do much as investigators, but then again, we saw them all just come in there and storm through the house and touch everything.
right, tracking their own footprints through the snow and through the blood, and like it was a shit show and a lot of.
And then they didn't bring forensics in until 4 days later, which is another whole what the hell, So
Yeah, and then we go
well,
around.
they don't need forensics. They already know what happened.
right there you
Right,
go.
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
right.
saying.
There it is. There
All
it
right.
is.
I'd like to give you at least two. Do you have another comment or question before I give room for Lafcadio to come up, and we'll try Marty again if they're still back there? Do you have another question?
Well,
Neil?
like the whole Eric Gower thing, it seemed like
Yeah.
his interview was like an hour and 45 minutes or something like that.
Mhm.
And like the very last 5 minutes, he seemed to like push in there. Oh, last guy didn't ask me, but I just want to let you know, like nobody asked me about where I went after I dropped them off. So I'm just letting you know that I did go there with them. Like it was really weird how like he was pushing it. Like I have to let you know because nobody asked me.
Great point. I didn't see the interview, but
Good
that's
point.
the exact kind of thing I would pick up on as well. Like, oh, by the way, nobody asked me this, but I want to get this in. Like, really? Why is it so
Why are
important?
you
to report something
volunteering that?
Thank you,
Yes.
Laura. Very good point. Another point I forgot to bring up tonight.
So
Good
I'm
point.
like, is he covering for Rosie or something?
Right. Right.
I'm always suspicious of anybody that's too collected and calm when talking about such a serious thing.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have any show of emotion,
something's
And-
wrong.
Right. And he
When you're
knew them, and he knew them well.
Yeah,
So,
I that's what I pick up on. I'm like, this
Right.
dude has no affectation of emotion. He's talking about a quadruple homicide with people that he interacted with regularly, and he's so calm and everything's just easy going, no problem, no emotion whatsoever in his voice. I was just like, that's to me a red flag.
Can I ask you a question real quick, Laura?
Sure.
Do you think Eric Gower is related to law enforcement, or do you think he was just trying to talk like a tough guy?
I don't. It doesn't make sense why he would try to pretend like I'm a cop if he's not. But if he's a CI, why would he pretend like he's a cop? So part of me, but he did mention like there was one of those law enforcement cars outside of the house that he was trying to maneuver around. I feel like maybe he's trying to like cover up. I still think Rosie's involved somehow. Like he seemed to be around there the whole time, and I can't get my mind off of Rosie. It drives me nuts.
Honest answer.
Yeah.
I just want to add as we thank you, Laura, for coming on, and I'm going to let another person come up, but I just want to say this fucking case, there's just too many fucking people that we can't rule out. We don't understand their involvement. It doesn't make sense. This case is just, it won't freaking die, and yet we're the assholes because we want to try to understand. Yeah. So thank you for coming up.
Yeah. That could be why Rosie was there. You know, I believe he was there between 3:45. The murders could have happened. Everything happened. What, and the college rules the whole area there. So Rosie could have been reached out. He's working undercover, and they have a mess with a CI getting killed now. So they need to cover it up.
I think he's a part of it. But thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, thank you for coming up, and it was good to see you and meet you. And let's get another person on screen then real quick. Lafcadio, so hopefully you're still there. I know you've been waiting patiently for a really long time. Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
We hear you.
Oh, good.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
So, I wanted to say I'm really appreciative of everything that you guys do. I think it's amazing. I sometimes get very annoyed with some of the stuff that you say, like 100%. I'm like, oh, please stop saying 100%.
I'm glad you're on.
Yeah.
Can never
be.
Yeah. Some of the things, and the F bombs and all this stuff. It's like, okay, I get it. It's an adult show, but all right.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
that gets old. But I appreciate what you do, because I think this, if you guys weren't doing what you were doing, this case would fall by the wayside, and Koberger would just be, I don't know what, and Moscow would be, I don't know what. So I'm really happy that you're doing what you're doing. Sometimes I think that we can get kind of myopic with the Gower thing. Was he a cop? Was he not a cop? Does it really matter? I honestly don't think he was. I think his wife was, but involved with the police department. But is that really what we should be focused on, or maybe we should focus on the bigger?
Well, yeah,
go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say, knowing now that there's pretty much confirmation that one of the kids was definitely a CI. I could tell you from my experience, and the other people. JJ knows, the other people know on the panel too. CI is going to have a contact person, right? So they're going to have a contact, and the contact. So I'm not saying this is 100%. We talked about this a little bit before. It would be an easy way of, if you think about it, of Kaylee or whoever else, if Gower was working, if he was some kind of officer or some kind of agent to that magnitude, where he's the handler, where these kids who are at whatever fraternity, sorority, they give their info to him, and that would be a perfect cover. He picks them up from the club or here or there. They could, they have a reason to call him, text him. They could easily pass him a note. He picks them up. It would be very easy to, he would fit the profile of a perfect handler. That doesn't mean I'm not saying 100% that's what happened, but
yeah. And I think along that lines, all all details we can get at this point, I think, are pertinent because again, if Gower is a cop or if Gower was a contact with the CIA, why do I keep saying CIA? It's the weirdest shit. Okay. I've got some kind of freaking Freudian slip. JJ is freaking in my head, living rent free. The point being is that every little detail is worth paying attention to, because what the thing I always say over and over again is what I can guarantee you is it didn't happen the way they said it happened. So now in order to figure out what did happen, we need to have all those details that we can to try to sort out what happened that night. And I think for me, if Gower was a cop or not is something that has to be factored into the equation, because it makes a difference. If he was, and he tried to hide that from people ahead of time, that says something. If he wasn't, and so all of those things I think are pertinent to try to figure out the story in the end. But
so I agree with that. And also the mention constantly of, Gower being unaffected, having this unaffected. Oh, sorry.
You okay?
Yeah, I didn't mean to interrupt. It looks like
No. You're good. You're good.
So I'm watching my TV. I'm looking at my phone. So of Gower being unaffected, a lot of the people are unaffected. I am a mother, and I know a lot of other mothers. I work with a lot of mothers, and Christy is incredibly unaffected. It's
agreed.
Yeah. So and Chapin mom, incredibly unaffected. I work with mothers who have had their kids just elope at the age of 18, and they're horrified and depressed and confused and everything. So everything that Christy's doing is very angry. It's very angry, and it's very it's disproportionate. I don't understand.
Vengeance more than what's the sorry, you
like
guys.
Your heart being ripped out of your soul.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's tough. It's tough because we all say it over and over again. Everybody grieves differently. What stage Christie's in versus what stage Steve Gonzalez in. That's I've always been a little sympathetic to trying to be like, let those families work it out the way that they need to work it out. But it's hard when they're constantly attacking YouTubers and saying that we're all pieces of shit for trying to understand what happened.
But Lee, that's not just grieving. And we're talking about brutal murders.
Yeah.
I would be screaming. I would be holding my head in my face. I would just be beside myself. And I have worked with so many families who are that way, who just cannot comprehend. I've never seen that in Christy. And I'm not saying that she doesn't have it, but I've never seen it. I've never seen it in her kids. They all get together as this collective corporate unity. And I say corporate because they seem like a corporate unity. So I just wanted to bring that up. And also, wasn't sure if you had been tracking the WSU hazing over the past 3 or 4 years, and other deaths at WSU, that they have a fraternity sorority problem as well that they've been able to keep under wraps. And also, if the whole thing is a psyop or an operation of some kind, we probably have to take a different approach to finding out the answers to this, because this is a big thing. So my question is, why is it national news? Why does even Trump pay attention? Trump doesn't pay attention to jack shit, partner.
Right.
Why does he pay attention?
No, he does not.
How is this not being recognized as a political operation, and why? And if you look at the politics of Idaho, everybody's like, oh, I agree with Bertie that, Idaho is I forget what he says, portal to hell. But if you look at Idaho politics, we are 100%. I just said it, the thing I hate you guys saying all the time, but we are 100% aligned with every MAGA 2025 operational directive at all. I mean, we were just like, we are a terrible state right now. we have good people in this state. We have extremely good people, kind people, good people. But the politics are just, ass kissing Trump and ass kissing Project 2025. And this happened, prior to that. So the final thing that I wanted to mention was that, yes, sometimes I just want to rip my hair out when I hear you guys going like, oh, that's Kaylee. Oh, that's this. Oh, that's this. Well, of course it would look like that if they had manipulated it for us to believe that.
Yeah.
There are ways to manipulate everything for us to believe the narrative.
Of course.
And I just think we really need to think outside the box. And that's all I wanted to say.
And that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'm gonna let our panel talk about that a little bit after taking off stage, because we got another person backstage, Callan, queued up. So thank you for asking or for making those comments. Let's talk a little bit about what she said about the political nature of this. I tend to try to avoid the political aspect of anything, which is one of the reasons why we kind of stepped away from Charlie Kirk, because it was getting so political. But
right.
I mean, what do you guys think about the optics of this? Why would the president, that's a good point. Like, why would Trump even mention? At one point he said, I think Hitler needs to make that guy say what he did. Why did he comment on this case and not a half a dozen other cases?
I think this would go along, JJ's touched on this. He'll go into depth, I know. Birdie's mentioned it too. The predictive, this could be, something about that predictive policing. They could be a program, that they're kind of interested in. The government, they're always testing new programs, new things going on. Deals with, you need a lot of funding. They're not gonna, if they need to do a test run, they're not gonna come out and tell the public,
like people in here are talking about, it could be a deflection from Epstein. It could be launching Palantir. It could be launching off of labs. There's a lot of potential benefits for either distracting somebody from something else or to launch something or whatever. So,
but I would say, what I was just gonna say that, but again, with the predictive, the AI stuff is like off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like every time with each passing week, each passing month, I think AI is going to take over our whole life very shortly.
Yeah. And real quick, I want to say, I'm going to bring Callan up. Hopefully he's still there. I saw movement, but it hasn't moved for a while. So hopefully the camera's okay.
He's there.
You're good.
He's moving.
Okay. So real quick, I just wanted to say to the last person who was on, was it Lafcato that was on? I want to say I appreciate you that you say, hey, I could do without all your F-bombs and yet you're still here listening. So thank you for being open-minded. I realize I drop a lot of F-bombs. I even encourage JJ to quit saying, we're not going to pussyfoot shit. You're just going to say what it is. So thank you for bearing with us when we
talk for your honesty.
And that you can disagree. You can agree to disagree.
Douchebag fuckery.
All right, let's bring up Callan on stage.
I just wanted to say something, though.
Sure.
I wanted to comment on that real quick, DA, what she said. I've been saying for a long time that high-impact events are usually watch what happens as a result of them, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just the event itself. Look at what follows it. And the predictive policing and domestic surveillance and the DNA, what I believe will end up being DNA databases for citizens. Because it's like, oh, we could have prevented this if we had more predictive policing and a DNA database for citizens. So I always look at the bigger picture and how these big high impact events impact that kind of stuff. So I agree with what Lafcadia was saying about agendas. That's, I think, the crux of what she was getting at is there's agendas at play. And I agree 100%.
All right. Well, perfect. Callan, how you doing tonight?
Doing well. Thank you, guys. And love the panel. This is one of my main channels that I follow as far as this Idaho case goes. And so I appreciate your guys' time. This is fantastic. And I got to give a shout out to Cat's Mojo in chat. Look, there's a lot of really cool people in this community and in the chat. And so Cat's Mojo, thanks for, kind of tipping the bear and making me call in.
Nice. Perfect. I love it. I love it. I'm glad that you took the
Yes.
opportunity to come up. Do you have any comment or question you want to fire at the panel tonight, or?
You know, as the documents come out, and especially now that these photos have come out, I have just a truck ton, but I won't ask them all right now. But one that's really just kind of stuck in my craw since the beginning of the document dump back in, I think, August. Everybody knows that 1122, the house was made of paper.
Yeah.
And everybody calls Dylan and Bethany the two biggest liars on the planet. And I want to besmirch their character.
Yeah.
But all the interviews that they did, every time they were talked about, and they said that they called, all 4 victims. If that house was made of paper, why were they never asked if they heard the phones going off?
Thank you, sir. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, it's a great point. Like, and maybe not related, but why the fuck are you calling everybody in the house instead of just walking one room over to go talk to somebody? Like, everything about that whole situation makes no sense.
With the way that house was built, why couldn't you just call up and say, "Hey, what's going on up there? Are you okay? Call down the hall. Are you okay?"
You could have very well. Yes, Robin is right. And is it Callan? Is that how you pronounce your name?
Correct.
I just want to make sure I don't say it wrong. I said 3 years ago, why did nobody say, "Hey, I can hear the phone ringing in Xana's room or in so on and so forth." Then they put on this act. This is another issue I had. That's why I'm grateful you said that. That they don't know that they don't even know. They said that they don't even know where Kaylee and Maddie are. You had to hear the phone ringing.
Exactly.
Period. There's no way you didn't. Dylan herself said you hear everything in his house. So I want to give you gratitude for saying that, sir. Go ahead, Lee.
I want to point out another thing. And I don't know what Callan's thought with this is what bothered me too. For the longest time, we heard the story in America. All of the people were sleeping. This guy came in the middle of the night when everybody was sleeping. And then slowly over time, we found out, maybe the girls weren't sleeping. Here's some phone messages. And even then, Ann Taylor had to say, if you're going to release the phone messages, then release all the fucking phone messages, not just part of them. And then we find out, wait a minute, they were awake all fucking night long. And they were texting. Like, why did that have to come out in stages? And why did we have to get lied for the longest time that everybody was asleep? So that we all had this idea that everybody just got expired in the middle of the night in their sleep. And then you find out they were awake. They were texting. It makes no sense. They didn't call 911. I see Xana laying on the floor, but I thought she was passed out, but I didn't bother to just go over and ask her if she's okay. I'm going to go call her instead. And it took forever to get those details to come out. Why?
Everything came out like that, Lee. If you think about it, everything came out in like small sections and little pieces. And I got to wonder, you guys, is it because they were basing it off of the reaction of the public? Would they release this and they go, okay,
people aren't buying that. So.
And then they release this and they're all right. They got that.
That's what it seems like.
They're not catching on yet. They're not catching on yet. Okay, you can keep going. You know what I mean? I got to wonder if that's what it is.
Test marketing.
What do you think, Callan? What are your thoughts about that whole progressive leaking of what the girls were up to that night?
Not to sound like a parrot that everybody else has echoed, but they wanted to continue to manipulate the narrative of, hey, this is what we want the public to believe. This is what we're going to put out. And when this case first started, I thought it was commendable for Idaho State to, put a mute order on a gag order on all the documents. I thought, okay, that's smart. Let's not taint the jury pool. But now that, BK admitted the guilt, and now that all the documents and pictures are coming out, I think it was a complete and total 100% backhanded narrative that they were trying to spin, that, hey, this happened. We're not going to give you the reason why. We're not going to give you the culprits. We're not going to prove who actually did it, but we've got our guy and he's the one.
I agree.
And it bothers me so much too, that even to this day, we in the true crime community are often shamed for questioning Dylan and Bethany's actions and the 8-hour delay of the phone call. And yet it's proven they lied to us. Oh, they were all asleep.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Like, oh, like every step they get proven to have lied to us, and yet we're still the assholes for questioning the story. And a grand jury, according to Patterson, if you believe James Patterson talked to a grand juror, said, look, the grand jury thought those girls should be investigated, that their story didn't make sense, and they thought that maybe they should be arrested. So we're not the only ones in America, but yet somehow we're supposed to act like we're assholes for questioning the girl's story, and we're victim shaming. And it's just the narrative shaping this case makes me insane.
Just so you know, Fizzy
sorry,
said,
Diego, go ahead.
I just want to say real quick, Fizzy said exactly what I was trying to say, and it didn't come out right. They were trying to see exactly how much they had to let out. Okay, that's what I believe it would. That's what I was trying to say, you guys. But thank you, Fizzy, for putting it out there. Go ahead, buddy. I'm sorry about that.
No, the last thing I was going to say is that the most frustrating thing with all the evidence and the documents and the pictures that have come out that we all have in our hands right now, mainstream media has not picked up on one nugget of it that says, hey, wait a minute, maybe BK didn't get it. It is so quiet.
They won't.
I mean, all the mouthpieces that are screaming from the mountaintops about Brian's guilt, not one of them are saying, hey, wait a minute, there's a new piece of evidence that came out.
They're not going to. They're not
just
going
wait.
to.
It's gonna get worse. You're gonna see the Lifetime movie come out soon. That's gonna show BK. It's gonna show BK as a crazy stalker. It's gonna show him like going to the house and watching them.
It's gonna show all the lies that aren't true. They're gonna put in that movie. Period.
I mean, maybe I don't know how Callan feels about this, but I don't. When the footage came out that Jules obtained through the public records request of all the screaming happened between 2:30 and 3:30 in the morning, regardless of what you think it was, why didn't one single mainstream media source say new audio just came out that leads to questions? What do you think about this? Not a fucking one of them had the balls to talk about it or ask a question. Why? It drives me nuts.
Because they've got their man. They've got the guy in jail, and R.I.P. I mean, no disrespect to the victims of the families, but they want to keep this under the rug, and they don't want to lift it back up to see if they did anything wrong.
Right. It's terrifying how much we shape stories in the media. And this is what I say. One of the things I rail against on this channel is we try people in the court of public opinion and before they even step into the courtroom. And we've already decided and already told everybody how they should feel about the thing before the guy even goes. And yet we're supposed to believe we're a nation that believes in the presumption of innocence. You can't have it both ways. You can't believe in the presumption of innocence and then convince everybody in America that this guy's guilty before he ever steps into the courtroom.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Absolutely.
Yep. Well, thanks for coming up and joining us on panel. I really appreciate it. And I'm glad that somebody like Cat's Mojo pushed your buttons to force you to come up on the panel. It was great. It was great having you up here. I appreciate it very much.
Appreciate your support.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, brother.
All right. So look, we're at 3 hours and I'm now calling. Somebody stick a fork in me. I think I'm done. 3 hours is good enough. The alcohol starts to set in.
Oh, come on. 5 hours. 5 hours.
No, we're not going 5 hours. We're done. In my usual fashion, I'm going to go around the horn. Dago, JJ, Robin, and then 1-1. So you guys want to close? Dago, you want to give some closing thoughts?
Sure thing, guys. Thank you again for a great show. Thank you to the community, all of you guys out there for supporting us the way you guys do. We love every single one of you guys for the support. I want to say I enjoyed everybody coming up here tonight, asking the questions, making the statements. We appreciate, I can say that I appreciate your guys' honesty, whether it's good or bad. I appreciate that. That's the way I like to see and hear it. And again, thank you to the amazing, my partners here on panel, partners in crime, or true crime, I should say. Thank you guys very much for being who you are, as always. And I'm looking forward to the next time. Thank you guys. Have a great night.
Awesome. Thank you so much. JJ, what do you got for closing?
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Thank you to everybody on the panel and the people that came up on stream, the denizens, the meatballs, and the mods, of course. Man, I'm glad we kind of went overtime a little bit, DA. I think sometimes it's good to draw outside the lines a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think themes have been coming into focus recently with this case. I think we can all agree we're starting to see patterns emerge that if you zoom out, the bigger picture, the power structure related things, because anything that was going on within Moscow that was connected to other like bigger agencies and law enforcement. And as I said earlier, the money aspect of it with the university and so on. I believe those are usually the threads to pull because they weigh heavy on the things that happen with us lowly citizens in the trenches. And I think that I'm thankful to see a lot of people waking up to the way things are really done, you know, and I think that tonight and yesterday as well kind of renew my faith in people's ability to see things, you know, and I think that it brings me hope that people are going to start hopefully waking up and realizing, man, that a lot of the stuff we're told with cases and a lot of what the mainstream media says is largely horseshit, quite frankly.
Colossal fuckery, as you might say it as well. Even though some people don't like that F-bomb, but
as I always
Robin,
say, fuckery.
Yeah, fuckery. It's a colossal level of fuckery. Robin, what do you got for closing?
Oh, that's funny. Well, you know, this has been amazing tonight. I don't know. There was something in the air tonight. Maybe it's a storm coming. I don't know. But you know, just we have between both channels, people, we have 501 souls that are still here 3 freaking hours later watching us. Thank you to each and every one of you, and there were even more of you who were here. There was like 530. And so thank you. And you guys, like, you have been here. Like I'm like on the numbers like all the time. Thank you to each and every one of you. We could not do what we do without you. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, comment on the video after it's over. Thank you to each and every one of our guests who came up on panel with us tonight. That was amazing. We don't bite, as you can see. And just, you know, I didn't love bomb earlier, so I'm going to do it now to my, everybody here on the panel, to our amazing mods, the minions, to the chat, to the meatballs and the sauce over on Dago's channel and the Blue Crew.
Yeah.
So thank you for being a friend.
Nice. Well said. All right. One.
How do I follow up after that voice?
Right? You got to do the singing.
Come
You got to
on.
do the singing.
Do it.
Sing us out.
Thank you for being a friend. Oh.
Nice. All right. Very good. Very good. What do you got?
See, we should have done karaoke, guys.
Yeah. Thank you, Meatballs, Denizens, the panel. Thanks to all the guests that came up. Great questions. As Robin said, we will not bite your head off. As you come up, you're respectful. Even if we disagree or we have a difference of opinion, we can have, a constructive, debate back and forth. That's what it's all about, getting to the truth, and keep fighting. We're definitely going to look at the document that came out with all the autopsy stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll be discussing it tomorrow. So, thanks to everyone. Thanks, like you said, JJ, Dago, Robin, obviously Bossman. Great show. And I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And because I love bombed everybody so much earlier, I won't do it again right now, but you guys all have my appreciation. It was a great show. Looking forward to doing it again tomorrow night. Every night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is our regular thing. We do long form videos on 5 or 6 cases or whatever the hell entertains our fancy, but we can't get away from Idaho 4. Thank you all for watching. There are documents for us to review. We will be doing work and we'll get back at it tomorrow night. Thank you and have a great evening.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.